Hello friends, Jai Shri Ram. Today we are going to see how to deploy websites. So let's start with the very basics. What is a website? Website is an application which is hosted on one PC and shared globally. So previously people used to write books and then publish them. Nowadays people share applications using something called as website. So suppose you have an application on your PC and you want to share it with the rest of the world, okay, and other people don't need to install that application. It should just be on your PC and they should just be able to access it from your PC. For that, what we do nowadays is called as a website. So we expose that application from your PC to the rest of the world using a single port. It can be hosted only on one port, okay, and this is called as hosting, means to open it for the rest of the world, that is called as hosting. So we basically host that website on a port of that machine. So website creation is like writing a book, and then publishing it or making it available to the world is called as hosting. So when you host it, you have to open that port for the rest of the world. Why? Because there is a firewall guarding every single port of your PC. Okay. Now, what is a DNS server and web server? So DNS server is like a dictionary. It tells your browser what this domain name means. So whenever you say shirasao.com or google.com, microsoft.com, amazon.com, so that anything .com or .in or .org is basically a domain. You have to purchase it for a short span of time, because everybody might like to have a domain by the name javatutorials.com, but then you have to purchase it, okay, and whosoever purchases it first gets it, right? And then you cannot purchase it for a lifetime. You have to purchase it for some stipulated time, like maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but some duration. You cannot say for a lifetime, I purchased it, now it is now my property. No, it doesn't. Internet doesn't work like this, and thank God it doesn't work like this. It is everybody's property. Internet or knowledge is everybody's property. You cannot say that this javatutorials.com will always be with me. So you are renting it out for 1 year. You are renting it out. So I have rented out this shirasao.com for 1 year. So when a web browser tries to go to shirasao.com, basically it asks the DNS servers around it that any of you, do you know what does this IP address, what does this domain name mean? Because browser only understands the IP address and the port. So domain name server, suppose some domain name server, actually Hostinger's domain name server will be having this, because I've hosted this website on Hostinger. So Hostinger's domain name server will be replying back to Google Chrome that this website is a web application. Of course, whenever I say website, it is a web application. It's an application that you're sharing over the web, right? So it's a web application. So this web application has been deployed on so and so machine. The IP of the machine is given over here, and on so and so port. So on this port of this machine, this domain has been deployed. Got the idea? So when it gets this information from the DNS, then this browser sends a request for the web page to the web server. Okay, which web server? The web server whose IP is given you over here. Okay, and it says that, see, on this port of you, some application is hosted, right? Please give me that application. So that is a request, and in response you get HTML, JavaScript and CSS, because browser understands only HTML, JavaScript and CSS. Okay, so a package will be sent, and that package will have HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and that will allow your browser to show you that page on the graphical user interface, that is GUI, and this is how you basically serve the internet. Okay, now let us have a practical session wherein I will demonstrate how to create a website. So as I told you, browser understands only 3 things: HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So what is a website? Website is basically just a folder containing these files: HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It can also have images, these audios, videos, but all these things, all JSONs, but all these things are raw data. They never get compiled. Main thing is HTML, JavaScript, CSS. Okay, so let me create a very basic website. So what is a website? Website is just a folder, okay, containing HTML, JavaScript, CSS files. So let me create a folder and let's call it as my website. And how can I create a basic website? At least it should have HTML, right? So let me create an HTML file, amit.html. Okay, either you call it HTML or HTM, it's one and the same thing. Now here, if you open it in any notepad, let us say, then you can write something into it. Let us say, hello world. Next line, my name is Amit Shirasao. Okay, I live in Pune. So basically, what is a website? We just want to share knowledge, right? It's just a medium to share knowledge. So I want to share this knowledge with the world. So I'm saying save it. Now I'm trying to access it in Google Chrome. So I see this knowledge, very good. So that is a website. But I made a few mistakes. Like it has not come in a different line, right? As I wanted it to be. So for that, what you should do is open it in the notepad again, and you should have given a BR tag. BR means break the line, carriage return, new line, whatever you call it. Okay, so now it will be showing it in a different line. Now it is a little difficult to code in this way in Notepad, right? And that is why there is IDE. What is IDE? IDE is Integrated Development Environment. So it is a software used to make other software. So the biggest feature that it provides is the text editor that it has syntax recognition. So what is the advantage? Let me show you. Let me open this file in VS Code. VS Code is Microsoft's this thing, IDE. So in this, you will see that BR tag is highlighted in a different color. So it knows the syntax, it knows HTML because the file name is HTML. So it identifies that this must be an HTML file. So it identifies what is the syntax of HTML. Accordingly, it will highlight everything. Now let us say that I want to create that header tag, body tag and everything. So why don't I just cut this and I just type here HTML:5. See, this appeared, and over here I'll just paste whatever I want. Okay, I'll try to access it again. Yeah, it is fine. So this is an IDE, right? So now you must be comfortable in building a website, right? Of course, you can add styles to it, you can add JavaScript to it, but that is a good to have thing. It's not a compulsory thing. The compulsory thing is HTML. Okay, now let us host this website. Hosting this website means now this website is available on my PC. How do I make it available to anybody in the world? Anybody means just anybody. You might say that, oh, you are my friend, why don't you send it to me? Yeah, I can send it to you. But let us say I want to modify this website tomorrow. Tomorrow, should I again send you the updated file? And should I keep doing it all the time? That is not what a website is. That is just sharing of the files. I want it to be hosted at a place and anyone can access it. So previously, there were standalone computers. So if you wanted to buy a software or if you want to install a software, then only you can install it on your PC and only you can use it. But then a need was felt that why not have a software which I'll install on one PC and it can be accessed by everybody else. And that itself, that application is called as a web application, also called as a website. Okay, so this is how it works. Basically, you keep an application on your PC or you host it on your PC. So it means it can communicate with the rest of the world using a port of your system. Okay, so your machine has many logical ports and they are all guarded by the firewall. So you should tell the firewall that, see, on this particular port I'm hosting this application, means the data will flow out and in, data related to that application will flow out and in through that port. So please allow incoming and outgoing traffic on that particular port. So you'll create a firewall rule, and after that anybody in the world will be able to access it. So let us see if we can access this particular website. So for doing that, I need some web server. So I already have a web server called as IIS on Windows. If you cannot see this option, then you search for turn Windows features on and off, and here you just check this checkbox. Even if it is half checked, then also okay. Here it is half checked only because it is showing a dash instead of tick mark, so it's okay, no problem. When you say okay, it will ask you for a restart, and then you'll be able to see IIS. So go to IIS. Over here, this is IIS manager. Here you can go here. Already there is a default website. If you want to open it, this is the default website. Now just like that, you want your own website also. So you'll right click, add site, you give any name, let's call it as hello, and the physical path, you give the physical path as this folder, because what is a website? Website is just a folder containing HTML, JavaScript, CSS files. Okay, so I'll copy this, paste it. I'll change the port to 81 because on port number 80 already we have this website going on. See here, port is not given, that means default port is 80 only. Okay, so I need to give some other port, and I have to say yes, and let us browse it. So this is my hello, let me browse it. Yeah, now it will say that it is do you want to see the directory? Why? Because it thinks that there is no file by the name index.html over here. See, this is how websites work. In every website there should be at least one file called as index.html. So your browser will actually go and find that index.html, and then it starts showing whatever is there inside it. Now if it is a single page application in which multiple components come and go, then they appear on index.html only. The basic page that is always there is index.html. So unless your website has index.html, it will the browser will throw this kind of an error. So just rename this file to index.html or index.htm. Okay, reload, see, you are able to see it. Right now I'm able to see it using localhost :81. What is localhost? Localhost is kind of a keyword which means my machine, this machine. Now will you be able to access this website using localhost :81? No, because localhost, when you put in your computer, it means your computer. Okay, so on your computer on port number 81, this website is not deployed, so you won't be able to do that. So you need to identify my PC. Now PC can be identified. PC means system, means machine. It's one and the same thing. PC, system, machine, all these things are the same. Means any computer. Now any computer can be identified in three ways. One is human beings call it by its host name. So I'll tell you what is a host name. Let me open terminal. What is terminal? Terminal is this kind of a black window in which I can give text commands to the operating system, and the operating system will respond to me in the form of text. So this is a way of speaking to my operating system. Okay, terminal is a place where I can go and I can speak to the operating system in text format. Okay, now there are various types of terminals in Windows, like Windows PowerShell, Command Prompt, Azure Cloud Shell. So you go to settings and you choose whichever whichever terminal you want as the default. You can select any one of them, and then henceforth whenever you go to next new, it opens that particular command prompt. Okay, now here if you give the command host name, then this is the human readable name of your PC. So this is the way humans identify the PC. Okay, because it's mostly in English. See, you give this name when you format your PC. At that time it asks you for the very first time on the first load, first boot, it will ask you what name do you want to give this PC, and at that time I gave this name. Okay, now similarly when computers talk to each other, then they use something called as IP address. So if you say ipconfig, then you will get IPv4 address and IPv6 address. Okay, so IP means internet protocol, v4 means version 4. Here IPv6 means internet protocol version 4 address. So as per IPv4 protocol, your PC will be called as this. As per IPv6 protocol, your PC will be called as this. So for the time being, don't worry about IPv6, just worry about IPv4. So you have IPv4 over here. Okay, you just copy this. Now using this, will you be able to access the computer? Will you be able to access my URL, this website? Let us check. So instead of localhost, you keep this IP. Hello world, my name is Amit Shirasao. You're still able to see it. Okay, now let me see if I'm able to see it on my mobile. Well, this is my mobile screen. I go to my IP address, which is 192.168.1.681. Okay, great. I'm not able to access it. Why am I not able to access it? Because as I told you, there is security on every port, right? Your uh, uh, what is it called? Firewall is guarding it. So I need to tell the firewall that please allow traffic on port number 81. So for that, you go to firewall. Here you have inbound and outbound rules. So you go to inbound rule, right click, say new rule, create a port kind of a rule and say that port number 81, allow the connection, allow all of them, and you give some name to this, like let's say Amit 81 in. Give any name, whichever you like. Then you have finish. Okay, as soon as you do that, you will start seeing this application, by the way. Okay, it does appear, don't, yeah, it does appear, see. Now, although this is the case, you should still make a outbound rule. Don't be lazy over here. Okay, don't say that inbound has happened and it is loaded. No, it is customary, and I will also recommend this, that please create both the rules, inbound as well as outbound. So I'm creating an outbound rule also, although I don't need it at the moment, but still I'm creating one. Okay, and I'll call it something outbound traffic, allowing outbound traffic on 81. Okay, fine. So congratulations, your first demonstration is done. You are able to host a website on IIS, right? But now the problem is that if you host it on IIS, then even if you close this IIS manager, then also it will keep on running. See, I close this Windows. Okay, this is IIS manager. Still, if I go to the browser and if I reload, yeah, it is still there. Okay, so when does it go away? It goes away when the IIS service is not working. Okay, so when does the IIS service not work? When your PC is off, so when you turn off your PC, this IIS service won't work, and that's why this hosting won't work, and so people won't be able to access this application using port number 81. Right, this is the problem. Now I want a PC which will be 24/7 on. Okay, and then on that PC I'll be hosting this website, right? So who will give me that kind of a PC? If I ask some friend, probably my friends will say, okay, I don't have such kind of PCs which will be on all the time. No one has them except hosting service providers. So those are called as hosting platforms. So why should you use a hosting platform? It provides these four facilities. One is it provides platform as a service, so they give you a PC which they'll keep on all the time. It also allows scalability. What is scalability? See, everything about this hosting platform is a contract with you. So they'll say, okay, you will get one CPU core, 4 GB RAM, and 50 GBs disk space for 2 years, and for that I'll require 11,000 rupees. Okay, so this is a contract between you and hosting platform, right? Now suppose you need instead of 4 GB RAM, if you need 32 GB RAM, then you don't have to buy another machine. You just have to say, okay, cancel the previous contract, now take another contract, or upgrade me to another contract. Or whenever 1 year gets completed, your contract ends. Now next time you take a bigger machine, take a contract and accordingly take a bigger machine, right? So that contract will cost you way more, maybe 50,000 per month, something like that, but it's still okay. I mean, if that's what you want. So scaling up is easy. But scaling up won't be really possible in your own system because your motherboard has only two RAM slots. You have already taken, let us say, 2 GB RAM. You already are working on 4 GB. At max, what will you do? You will purchase another 4 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, total 8 GB. So what happens to the earlier two RAMs? They go for a waste, right? And you cannot take so much of losses, right? It goes for a waste every time you upgrade. The previous machine, the previous RAMs go for a waste, right? So scaling up is costlier in your case, but it is easy for the hosting platform, because for hosting platform it just has so many machines. It will just give you some other machine. They have a lot of machines. That's their business. So scalability is very uh, easily provided by hosting platforms. Then safety. If you're an individual, how will you protect your PC from viruses, from malware attack, and all these things? How will you protect it? It will depend upon your technical expertise or your antivirus definition. Now, you are just an individual. These hosting platforms have many engineers who are skilled only in safety, only in antiviruses, only in this kind of things, networking. So of course their safety will be top notch, and your safety is okay because you're an individual, right? So that's why they'll have a better safety. And then data backup. What is data backup? See, let us say you have a website like Google. Now Google accepts so much of user data. Google asks users to create their profiles. Then Google maintains their map history, their YouTube history, their photos, their Google Drive, everything. So it has so much of user data. Now imagine that tomorrow Google says to you that, I lost your profile. I don't know where it is. It just got lost. So why don't you create a profile again, and maybe this time I'll keep your data safe? What will you say to Google? You will definitely not go back to Google. You will go to any other competition. You'll go to Microsoft, you'll go to Amazon, you'll go to anything other than Google. Why? Because Google has lost your trust. So keeping users data safe is of paramount importance in website hosting. And how will you do it? If you host it on your IIS, how will you do it? For doing that, you'll have to take nightly backup, maybe on a CD drive, or maybe on DVD, and you'll keep on doing it religiously every single night. Now, instead of doing this, won't it be a better idea to go for a hosting platform? Because hosting platforms by default take data backups. So even if their server crashes, it seldom happens, but even if it does crash, then also there must be a nightly backup. So at max, how much data will you lose? You'll lose the data that you have collected this day, but the data until yesterday was already backed up. So there's no, the damage is contained. And that is also a reason why people go for hosting platforms. So these are the major reasons why people choose hosting platforms. Now, what are the types of hostings that they provide? So one is shared hosting. Shared hosting means it's like taking an apartment in a building on rent. So let us say that there is I have four friends, and all of us take one apartment on rent, and we all stay together in that apartment. So that is shared accommodation. Shared hosting is just like that. There is one physical machine. It is divided into multiple VMs, that is virtual machines, and on one VM also multiple websites are hosted. One of these websites is your website. That is called as share hosting. So let us say that some other website crashed, and due to that the VM crashed, then all the websites on that VM will also crash at the same time, right? It was not your mistake, it was somebody else's mistake. But it is so unsafe that just because somebody else crashed, the VM crashed, your website is also down for no reason. And that's why people usually don't go for shared hosting. Just like shared accommodation, if your room partner falls sick of COVID, then you have an added risk. Oh my god, it would be so risky to have a COVID infected room partner. But won't it be better if you would have taken that entire apartment by rent yourself? Okay, so you are the tenant of the entire apartment. That kind of a hosting is called as VPS. Here also there is one physical server divided into multiple VMs, but you are given a dedicated VM. Now, what all are the advantages? See, in the shared accommodation, whatever that VM was, it had resources like RAM, CPU, disk space. They were all shared with all the other websites. Okay, but here whichever VM it is, its resources are fixed to you and they are not shared. So the contract will be like this, that I'll be giving you a VM having one virtual CPU, 4 GB RAM and 50 GB hard disk space. I'll give it to you for 1 year, and for that you need to give me like 7,000 rupees, something like that. Okay, so the contract is very clear. This data, these resources are always being used only by me. They will never be used by anyone else, right? So this is a little easier for me also to manage, and of course, but I'll have to shell out a lot of money. Shared hosting could be only for like 1,000 rupees, but this is for 7,000 rupees per year. Okay, then you go for dedicated. Dedicated means what? Dedicated means, suppose you take the entire building on lease. Okay, so you cannot do it as an individual because it's very, very costly. It will be like 50,000 rupees per month. Definitely you won't take it. But who can do it? So big companies can do it, like Google can do it. In real life also, who will rent out an entire building? A big company will do it, right? Because company has big plans. Like that company might be saying that on the top floor there will be client visits only, nothing else, no development, nothing. On the next lower floor than that, there will be only finance team. Below that, only HR team. Below that, development, QA, this, that. Then okay, this client's ODCs will be on this floor, that client's ODC will be on the. This way all that planning can be done. And the advantage of this dedicated kind of a thing is that the server is at your dispense. You can create as many VMs as you want. You can allocate different RAMs to them as per your choice. Because let us say for Google, uh, Google wants to have one complete VM for Google Photos, and maybe a few VMs, and create a cloud out of it for Google Drive. And then maybe one VM can be shared by Google search, as well as let us say image search, something like that. So Google can think about it, that how it wants the VMs, how much is the resource allocation for every VM, and it can modify it over the time, right? It doesn't have to ask anyone else, and the entire server is under Google's control. That is called as dedicated hosting. But nowadays no one goes for dedicated as well. People usually go for cloud hosting. What is cloud hosting? Cloud hosting means, cloud is what? Cloud is a network of computers. So on top of physical servers, a layer has been created, an imaginary layer has been created called as cloud. So cloud gives you whatever you ask to the cloud, right? So let us say that I take a cloud hosting. So my subscription will be like this, that every resource that you get will be metered, means it will be measured, and depending upon your usage you will be charged every month. So for example, today, or maybe for the weekdays, my website's RAM utilization is very low, CPU time is very low, and disk space is very low. Okay, disk space will be constant only, but still I'm saying, okay, RAM utilization is very low during the weekdays. But during the weekends there is a lot of traffic. So as more and more users log in concurrently, I need more RAM. So RAM allocation or RAM utilization will be more during the weekends, right? So there is dynamic use of resources, right? So on the weekdays I'll be charged less, but on the weekends I'll be charged more. Now think about it, this business model is better for me as well as for the hosting platform, because let us say on the weekends I'm earning 10,000 rupees per day. Then it's okay for me to give 1,000 rupees for my hosting on that day. I really don't mind. 10% of my profits, you can take it, no problem. But on the weekdays, when my own profit is only 100 rupees, will I be giving 1,000 rupees to a hosting platform? I won't give, right? At that time, hosting platform will only ask me for 10 rupees. It says, okay, 10% of your profit. That's because it is metered. It says that, okay, you used only this much of RAM, so it's okay. Yeah. Give me only 10 rupees and it's okay, fine. Got the idea? So if I make profit, then I'm sharing a part of that profit to the hosting platform. And that is why this business model is good for both of us. And even the cloud hosting platform provider will also like my website to have more traffic, right? And if I have more traffic, then I'll be able to show my ads to more and more people. So AdSense revenue will keep on increasing. So both of them are aligned in the same direction. and that is why this hosting is better. Whereas in all the other hostings, the resources are fixed. So as soon as the contract is made that I'll be taking a VPS hosting for 1 year, then I have already made the payment. After that, hostinger or whichever hosting platform it is, it doesn't care for me as a customer. It just doesn't care. It doesn't matter, right? Even if my website is down for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, a week, why should hostinger care? But if I have a cloud subscription and hostinger's profits are linked with my profit, then hostinger will keep a keen eye on whether my website is online or not, right? So this is a very good business model. I liked it, but I have subscription for VPS, so henceforth whatever video is there, it is for VPS hosting. But you can apply similar knowledge on other types of hosting as well. Now, all these types of hosting can be either managed or unmanaged. Managed means it's a little costly service, and it includes the facility that the hosting service provider will only install various software on it, will check whether all the software are running properly or not, will host your website also and check whether it is down or not, what is the troubleshooting, everything they'll do. That is called as a managed hosting. Unmanaged hosting means it is cheap, but you will have to manage all these things. It won't do it on its own, right? So these are the means all of these types. Shared hosting can be managed or unmanaged. VPS hosting can be managed or unmanaged. Dedicated can be managed and unmanaged. Cloud hosting can be managed or unmanaged. Okay. Now these are the various hosting platforms that normally people use. Bluehost and Hostinger are very famous. If you want an Indian hosting platform, then hostsoch.in. I had hosted on this. That platform is also fantastic, and it is way cheaper than all the other platforms. So if you want to go Indian, then please go for hostsoch.in. For the video, I'll be demonstrating Hostinger because now I took a plan from Hostinger. So let me demonstrate Hostinger. Now, when you go to Hostinger, it is the website is called as hostinger.com. But if you want to see all those prices in Indian rupee, then you have to choose the country as India, and then it redirects you to hostinger.in. Well, hostinger.in is only used to make the payment for whichever subscription you purchase. After purchasing it, once again you go back to hostinger.com, but this time it is hostpanel.hostinger.com. Actually, it is only hpanel without a dash, but I gave it for better readability. Now, what is this? So hostinger.com is the domain, okay, and anything before that is called as subdomain. Okay, so just like google.com is the domain, and photos.google.com or search.google.com or drive.google.com or maps.google.com, these are all subdomains. Okay, so when you buy a domain, you can make up to 100 subdomains, okay, free of cost. Just buy the domain, and with it you get 100 subdomains. Okay, we'll see all this in the practical also. Okay, so this is what it is. Hostinger.in is only for the payments. I've said this. Then, yeah, let me show it in practical now. So let me go to this Hostinger. Hostinger.com, see, everything is in US dollar. If you want to change it, go to the country, change it to India. In India also, you can choose the language as English or Hindi. I'm saying English. So you see all the cost in Indian rupee. Here you go to hosting. You can buy which type of hosting you want. If you buy this, then you can choose the plan. These are the 4 plans that you can choose from. So KVM 4K means, I don't know why K. Their AI is also called as Kodi. So why such infatuation with K later, I don't know. Okay, so whichever plan you take, you choose from here. So I have chosen this plan, which is the cheapest. See, it has 1 virtual CPU, and that's why KVM1. It has 2, so 2. It has 4 CPUs, so 4, and 8 CPUs, 8. And similarly, RAM, disk space means hard disk space, bandwidth, everything keeps on growing towards the right. And data centers are worldwide for all of them, and operating system is Linux. Of course, the variety of Linux can be your choice. You can choose whether you want Ubuntu Linux or Debian Linux or Alma Linux, whatever. Now, once you choose a plan, it's my recommendation that please ask the AI, that is Kodi, whether there is any discount coupon. So if you take KVM1 for 24 months, then the discount coupon code that Cody told me is this, Cody 10. And if you take it for 12 months, then it is Cody 5 without zero, Cody 5. See, if the coupon is applied, see, 14,000 rupees discount, 14,500 rupees discount. So discounts are tremendous, but ask for this coupon code. You might think that you don't know what is a coupon code. Ask the AI. AI will give you. If the AI doesn't give you, then ask the AI that could you please connect me with a human being. And some sales representative, they connect with you, ask them for a discount. Do not buy it just like that, buy it with the discount. See, 15,000 rupees is a big amount. Okay, so it used to cost me, it would have cost me 23,000 or 24,000 rupees. Now with 14,500 rupees discount, it is only costing me 9,500. Got the idea? So there's a huge difference. But of course this is without tax, so if I continue, then it will have 18% GST on this. You have to give the billing address, you have to choose the payment method, and here the tax is calculated. See, 18%, see, 18% GST is there, and final amount is around 11,000. Then you can choose UPI also. These are the modes of payment: UPI, net banking, debit card, credit card, Paytm wallet, or PayPal. So you go for UPI. You can give your UPI ID over here, and then that transaction will continue. So in UPI transaction, basically what will happen is Hostinger will raise this, what is it called, mandate, UPI mandate. So what is UPI mandate? UPI mandate is just like credit card. When you give credit card to a website, then that website can invoice you on that credit card at any time, okay, as per your usage. Now that is a problem, right? Here, although this is not cloud hosting, but still, let us say Hostinger still invoices me by mistake. Then if you have that UPI mandate, your money will get deducted. Okay, it won't even ask you, it will just notify you that this money has been sent to Hostinger as per the invoice that they raised. That's it. You don't have a control of stopping it. That is the main problem, and that's why I'll highly recommend that when Hostinger will raise this 11,000 mandate, you accept it, let this payment get deducted, okay, let your subscription start, and immediately after that you revoke that mandate. So that in between, means, see, your contract term is until 2 years, right? You have taken that plan for 2 years, so ideally the next invoice should be taken from you after 2 years. But what is a guarantee, if Hostinger still takes the payment before that, or Hostinger by any reason, if it invoices you even by mistake, then your monthly budget will get crumbled. Okay, so don't do that. Let this mandate be accepted until this payment goes through 11,000, and after that, immediately after that, as soon as you get to log into Hostinger and everything is started, then you just revoke that mandate. Okay, to know more about UPI, please refer to this video, in which I have given you in detail what UPI is and how to use it. Okay, now once that is done, you will be given a lot of pages. Let me show you those pages as well. So I'll show you those pages also of Hostinger. Yeah, so you will see this kind of pages after the payment. You will see this kind of a setup page will appear. Okay, so there are these tutorials also which you can go through as long as the setup is going on. During the setup, it will ask you to set up the password for Cloud Panel and SSH. Now what are these two things? See, what is your VPS? It is virtual private server, so it is like a PC, right? Only this PC has the operating system of Linux, right? Now how will you communicate with that PC? That PC is with Hostinger, right? So sitting here in Pune, how will you communicate with that PC? There are two ways of communicating. One is the graphical way of communicating, in which you'll be able to see it on a window, right? So graphical user interface, that way is called as cloud panel. Okay, because I have chosen cloud panel to be the control panel. So basically, for accessing any VPS, you have a control panel, and that control panel you can choose from a variety of control panels. The control panel that I chose was cloud panel. So cloud panel or any other control panel is the GUI way of looking at your VPS. Then there is also a terminal way of looking at your VPS, and the terminal way means in this black window, this kind of a window. If you want to connect with your VPS on this kind of a window, then you require SSH, which stands for secure shell. What is a shell? Shell is a program using which you can communicate with an operating system. Okay, and this shell is secure because you are communicating over the network, over internet, and so all your messages, all your commands will be encoded, and all the responses will also be encoded, and that is why this is called as SSH, means secure shell. Okay, how to connect with it? You can just type here SSH, whichever user using which you have to connect. So root user of that Linux system, @ and the IP address of that VPS, whatever is the IP address I can put here, and this is how I can connect. Using my terminal only I am connecting, but once I am logged in, then whatever commands I give, those commands go to that Linux VPS, and that Linux VPS will give me the answer as per its understanding. My Windows system won't be in play during that time. Okay, so that is why it is called a secure shell, because there is a secure communication line, and then you speak only to the Linux. In that, I mean, in this window, I'll be speaking only to Linux, right? My Windows PC won't even come to know what I'm doing. That is how secure it is. So that is called a secure shell. Okay, more about it later. Now once your setup is done, so you have during this while setting up your VPS for the very first time, it will ask you the password for cloud panel and SSH. Once you give it, the setup will get completed and you'll see this particular screen. When you click on this, you'll be able to manage the VPS using host panel. Okay, I'll tell you about host panel also. And otherwise you can copy this, and it's the same command I told you, SSH space user by which you want to log in @ and the IP address of your VPS. Okay, now what else? Yeah, these are my plans that I took. Okay, these are domains. Okay, that is enough. Now coming back to this PPT. This PPT is a little shorter. It has only 65 slides, I guess, and the other PPT has more screenshots, so it has 175 slides or more than that maybe. Okay, so what is host panel? So host panel is something like this. So when you log into Hostinger, you see hostpanel.hostinger.com. Here there are various tabs. Just forget about all those tabs. Just remember one tab, which is home tab. On home tab, you will see all the services that you have subscribed for from Hostinger. Now there are two services that I took from Hostinger, domain and VPS. Now you might ask me, why do you put all eggs in one basket? Why do you want to buy hostname also from the same hosting provider from where you bought VPS? Now there's a reason for that. See, I had done the other way only. I bought the domain from hostsoj.in, and I bought the VPS from Hostinger. Now I wanted to transfer that. See, basically what? Suppose you have bought a domain from hostsoj, then hostsoj's DNS will be having its record, right? Every hosting platform has a DNS. Actually, it has multiple DNSs. Here, Hostinger has 2 DNSs. So my domain name has to be registered to Hostinger's DNS now, and that is called as domain transfer. So the domain's knowledge is transferred from hostsoj's DNS to Hostinger's DNS. Okay, and that is why I mean, it gave me a problem, because Hostinger people said that, for domain transfer to take place, your domain should be in active state for at least last 6 months. And my domain was purchased just a few days ago, so it was not active, so I lost that money. And so it is a pro tip for you that whenever you buy hosting plan, please buy domain from the same service provider. so that this domain transfer thing you don't have to do. Otherwise, remember that for domain transfer, the domain has to be active for at least 6 months before you initiate the domain transfer. And even after that, domain transfer takes some time, maybe a day or two. So till that time, your website will be down. Okay. Okay, now on H panel, just remember about one tab, which is home tab. Here you will see all the subscriptions that you have taken from Hostinger. And I have taken only two, domain and VPS. Now, whichever subscription you want to manage, you just click this manage button ahead of it. Okay. Then suppose if I go to domain manage, let me show it to you in practical only. Okay, so let me go to hostinger.com. Let me log in. I created the profile using Google only, and that's why I can log in using it now. So it is a home page. These are subscriptions. I can manage the domain. Now, when I manage the domain, here also 3 tabs are there. Just worry about the middle tab, that is DNS or name server. Here also many tabs. Just remember about one tab, which is DNS records. Okay. Here again, these are the domain name servers. I told you DNSS. Here there are DNS records, so you can manage these records. So by default, you will see these many records, okay, except these two which I have just created, and this one also which I have just created. So I'll do one thing, I'll delete them one by one. By default, you will see something like this. Okay. Now, let us study these records properly. There are many CAA records. Okay, leave them. You don't have to care about it. There is one A record. It says that the IP address of my VPS is this. Okay, so I have given the IP address of that. Means I have not given, this was already set. Then there is one CNAME record. It has www as name and content has shirasao.com, means my domain name. Got the idea? All this was there already. I did not do anything. When you purchase a domain and you go to manage domain, you come over here, you find these records already. Okay. Now what do you do? The domain is ready. Okay. Now you go to again host panel's homepage. Yeah. Here, instead of saying manage domain, now you say manage VPS. Okay. When you go here, you see VPS information over here. See, we are in overview tab. There are many tabs. Forget about all of them. Only 2 tabs are necessary: overview and OSN panel. Inside OSN panel also operating system. Okay. Just this overview and operating system, these 2 things you need to remember. In overview, these 3 things you need to remember. Forget about plan details. VPS information gives the information about your virtual private server, that is VPS. So your IP is this, your host name, it says it is this, but actually host name is only this much, with 4, this much. Its status is running. If you want, you can stop it, you can restart it. Okay. And it's using this operating system. The control panel that I'm using is cloud panel, etc, etc. Usage data can also be seen over here. So this tab mostly you won't be using except for knowing what is the IP address of your VPS. Okay. Panel access. So panel access means what? This is the cloud panel that I'm using. So again, it is the same IP address of your VPS and then some port number. Now you already know that when you see something like this, it means cloud panel is nothing but a website that is deployed on your VPS on this particular port. Got the idea? And the login for that website, this is the username, and you can reset the password. This is the same password which it asked you during the setup, panel password. Similarly, SSH. Here, this root user is there, and this is the same password which you had set during the setup. Okay. Okay. Now I told you about domain and subdomain. We checked all those DNS records, right? So DNS record is already up to date when you buy a domain. Now, how do you create a website for it? You go to the cloud panel and create a website. I've already created one. It must be active also, shirasao.com. Okay, it's not active. Anyways, let me format the entire VPS so that I can set it up front, right in front of you. For doing that, what do? I go to this tab, OS and panel, operating system. Okay, here you can choose which operating system you want, which panel you want, which application you want. But here's a pro tip: do not choose the operating system first, choose the panel and application first. Okay, why? Because every panel and application are very choosy. Let us say in the future you might be using Docker, so check which operating system Docker uses. It uses Ubuntu. Okay, panel, which panel do you want to use? So this is how my thought process went. I said that okay, I have to use Docker one day or the other, might not be today, but I'll be using it someday. So that's why I had to choose for Ubuntu. Now if I had to choose for Ubuntu, then panel also, every panel is for a different operating system, and some panels are even licensed, like the C panel is licensed, Plex is licensed. Okay, so since it is licensed, I won't take it, and even they require a different operating system. So I want some panel having Ubuntu, and I don't want to pay for the license as well, so this is free also. That's why I chose Cloud Panel. And Ubuntu was never my choice. Ubuntu was chosen because this application needed Ubuntu. That's it. So this is how your thought process should go. Choose the application first, accordingly you choose the panel and the OS. Got the idea? Now if you want to change it at any time, you can change it, like you can change the panel today also. If I find any other panel having Ubuntu, so if I want deploy, maybe I can change the OS, I can install it, there's no problem. Okay, otherwise if I don't want to change the operating system and the panel and any other application that I might have installed, then you can just reinstall everything. So suppose you think that the data is corrupt on my VPS and I need to start afresh right from the beginning, like I'm going to do now, then you reinstall. It will give you this confirmation box. It will ask you for a confirmation that, see, all your data will be lost. Are you ready? I say yes, and I'll say next. Now, as soon as I'm just trying to format the system, it is asking me that your cPanel password will get reset. So kindly give me the password. So I'll say yes, I'll give a password. This password can be the same password which you had set earlier. Okay, no problem. Even if you repeat the password, then also it doesn't remember so much. It's okay, it's very forgiving. So it is asking me for cPanel password. Likewise, SSH password will also get reset. But it is hPanel's bug that it does not ask you for SSH password. Believe me, if you try to access SSH with the older password, you are not able to log in. Why? Because this password got reset. Okay. Now, while this is formatting, see, there will be a progress bar over here. It takes around 10 minutes. So while this is happening, I'll explain you a few things about Linux. What is the folder structure and everything. And I'll also tell you about a file called as users. Yeah, so users folder is that folder in which your user related folders are created. So my default user on this system is Amit S. Okay, so that folder got created. Similarly, when you create a new website, a user gets created for you. This is everybody's system, you know. In Windows also same thing happens, Linux also same thing happens. So if you create a new website, a user gets created. Like for example, we created hello website, so a user got created, and for that user a folder with the same name gets created in users. Okay, and here all these things are there, desktop documents वगैरह जो भी है. And similarly, there is default website was also there, so that folder might also be there. I probably deleted it, and this is just the app pool. There should have been another folder called default app. I don't know, maybe I might have deleted it over the time. But just remember, when you create a website, a user gets created, and accordingly a folder gets created inside users. Okay, I'll show you the same thing in Linux, and it's extremely important. That is what confused me for a very long time, so I'm telling you upfront. Okay, now what is the folder structure in Linux? So let's go for that. Yeah, so folder structure in Linux. How do you access Linux? Using any kind of a shell. Shell is a program that communicates between you and the operating system using text. Okay, So these are all the shells. These are all the shells on Windows. Similarly, a shell on Linux operating system, a very popular one, is called as putty. You can download it on your Windows as well. Putty is a very popular shell. So shell is any program that allows you to communicate with a operating system over text. Now you can communicate with SSH like this, that SSH give the username. Now I told you that when you create a website, a user gets created. So that website's user also you can put here instead of root. It's possible. @ the IP address of your VPS. Okay. And then when you log in, you will see a prompt like this. What is a prompt? Prompt means in Windows, this is called as a prompt. Okay. Prompt means it is only to indicate the user that I have completed executing your command, and now please feel welcome to give me another command. So that is for prompting the user that I am free for taking more commands. Okay, so that is why it is called as in Windows it is called as prompt. Means this prompt is like this. So it always has this angle, and before that it shows that folder in which you are there. Okay, now in Linux the system is like this, that the prompt always ends with either hash or $. If you are an admin user, in Windows terms we call it admin user, in Linux terms you call it as sudo, that is sorry you call it as super user. Okay, so if you're a super user, then the prompt will end with a hash, and if you're a normal user, that means non-super user, then it will end with a $. Okay, don't get confused. $, if you're a normal user, hash if you're a super user. Now root is a super user in Linux. Okay, that is the only super user in Linux, and that is why you see hash over here. But had I logged in by the user that got created by creating a site, okay, so I would have seen a $$ over here. Then before that, what do we see? There are two things. One is this tilde, and on the right hand side of the colon there is tilde, which shows you the current folder in which you are there. And before the colon it shows your user @ means whichever user you have used to log in, @ your host name. So the host name of this Linux system is this. So that's why I told you that host panel is showing you the wrong this thing. Okay, the formatting is done and reinstallation is also done. Okay, so in the host panel, if you check here, whatever it is showing that this is the host name, it is actually wrong. The host name is this that you're seeing over here in the background. If you go to manage and overview, here also it says that the host name is this, but in reality host name is only this much, not .hostinger.cloud. Okay, so these things can confuse you, so I'm letting you know in advance. Host panel is not very well developed, so believe SSH is the real thing. Host panel यार भला ही भला है, उसका अब क्या कहें. These are the folders that are normally there in Linux. It all starts with one thing. You don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. So it all starts with root folder. Okay. Now these are the level 1 folders after root. So two of them are very important. One is home, another is root. Root folder is the folder for the root user, and inside home the folder for various other users get created. Okay, so this home folder is similar to this C:users folder, because whenever a new user gets created, its folder gets created inside users folder in Windows. Similarly in Linux, whenever a new user gets created, its folder gets created in home folder. Okay, and what is tilde? Tilde actually is a shortcut. Tilde means speed breaker, that is called as tilde. So this tilde stands for the current user's home directory. So if you have logged in using root user, then this root user's folder, that means this folder, will be tilde. And if you are logged in using user1, then user1 folder will be the meaning of tilde. Okay, so let us see this all in action. Before seeing this, you first need to log in, and for logging in you go to SSH, you copy this, you paste it over here. See, it is saying that remote host identification has changed. Okay, so whenever you see this kind of an error, do one thing, go to this file or go to this place and delete this file. So I'll go to this place and I'll delete this file. Actually, this file I have only renamed it. You will see only one file at a time and you just delete it. Okay, now after that you give the command again. Now it is saying that the authenticity of the host, this is the IP address of my VPS, can't be established. This key fingerprint is so and so. Okay, do you want, okay, are you sure you want to continue connecting with it? I'll say yes. So what it means is, this is a new host. That means, see, whenever computers speak to each other, they note down each other's names. Okay, I communicated with you. So you make a mental note of it, right? That, okay, suppose I am Amit, I met Sumit. So I'll say, okay, Sumit bhaiya, I know you now. You will remember Sumit. Okay. Similarly, computers also keep a record of it, that, okay, I met PC number 147 93 19 160. Yes, I know PC number 147 93 19 60. It knows it. They communicate in this way only. This is how they work. So to make a mental note of that name, it basically saves it in a file called as known hosts. Known host means, imagine a person who will be keeping a diary that, oh, I know Mr. Sumit, I know Mr. Vipin, I know so and so. That's how computers do it. Literally, this is how computers do it, that I know these many people in life. This is how computers behave. So what it will do is, this is a new computer to which my PC, my Windows PC is connected. So my Windows PC is now keeping a note that, oh, this is a Linux PC that I connected with. Okay, this is its name. Okay, so in this file, it will make a note of it. So at the moment that file doesn't exist, I've just deleted it. Let me show it to you. Let me go to that file location. Array, what is going on? Okay, let me let me open it somewhere else. Yeah, so this is that file location. It is empty, it does not have anything. Now look at the magic. Now you gave this command, it is asking me, okay, this seems to be a new machine. Do you want me to remember this machine? I'll say, yeah, of course, I'll always be communicating with it. So please go ahead and remember. So it says I have permanently added this guy in my diary, that, okay, this is how computers behave. So you see here, this known host file got created. Now if you open it, it actually notes down, oh, this is the name of a person. Not just that, suppose Sumit spoke to me in English. Okay, so I would note down in my diary, oh, name is Sumit, he spoke to me in English. So English is this encryption type. Okay, I told you that SSH communicates over a secure channel, so everything is encrypted. So for encryption, there are various algorithms. One algorithm is this. So for this algorithm, what is the public key? It has noted that public key also. Okay, Sumit communicated with me in English and he usually uses basically word too much. So okay, basically it is Monday, basically I have to do this. Okay, his takiya kalam is basically. Think about a human being doing this. This is what machines do and this is how they communicate. Okay, now it knows about Sumit, or it knows about my VPS. Okay, now maybe I'll close this. Okay, now once again, I did not get connected, right? Connection closed. Okay, because it only took down the name. That's it. Okay. Now I'm connecting once again. Now this time it is asking me for a password. Previously it said, oh, this is an unknown person. What do you say? Now it knows that person. So now it is asking me for the password. So I'll give the same SSH password, but definitely it got resetted. Okay, so I won't be able to communicate. So I'm just giving you a demo. This is my old password. See, it won't work. So for it to work, I have to go to SSH, I have to change the password. Okay. You can give the old password also, that's okay. You give the old password here, then also it's okay, it will take effect. Yeah, root password has been changed. Now I can use that password. Okay, it allowed me to log in. See, it allowed me to log in, but now let me look at this diary of my Windows. What did it write? See, it created old. I don't know why it created old. Okay, what is there in old? Let me check. Huh? Okay, in old, this is what it had saved. Okay, I'll keep it open. Huh? Let us see what this what it has opened. Huh? And this is the new one. So in the new one, what did it note down? Again, similarly, the first entry is just like that. Okay, from the old also, is the key same? Yeah, the key is also same. It only copied and pasted it. Okay, you see there's no difference in the first line. The first line is not changing, right? This line is not changing. Got the idea? Okay, now uh, it just added a few things to it. See, this is a classic way of operating system. Whenever it doesn't use that file and it doesn't want to delete that file, it will call it as dot old. Okay, now give it some time. If you want, if it wants to create one more old, then it will say got dot old 2, dot old 3. This is how computers work. Understand their way of working. Okay, then what did it note down? Okay, this it already knew that. Okay, it is Sumit speaks in English, is Takya Kalam is basically. After that, it says, okay, this is Sumit. It also spoke, he also speaks in Hindi, and for Hindi this is the public key. Okay, so for this particular encryption type also, this is the public key. Then Sumit also speaks in Marathi, so this is the encryption type Marathi, and for Marathi this is the public key. Got the idea? This is how computers keep a note of people. Means if one computer speaks to another computer, it keeps its note in known hosts. It also keeps a note of what all encryption protocols were used during the communication and what all are the public keys of those protocols. Like this is for the first one, this is for the second one, and this is for the third one. Okay, so that is about known host. So if you see any problem with authentication or login, just delete this file, try it again. It will write on its own. Don't worry about it. This file gets generated on its own. Don't worry about it getting lost. It's absolutely okay. Yeah, so now I logged in by the root user, and that's why there is a hash. Okay, now let me show you the folder structure again. So here if I do cd dot dot, so I go to one folder up. See, the one folder up is, it starts with one thing. This is that thing, root. Root folder is this root folder. I'll tell you, this root folder. Okay, so that means I must be initially, I must be in one of these folders, right? I know that it was this root folder, root users folder, but still, let me prove the point like a mathematical theorem. Let me prove it, and at the end I'll say hence proved also. Now here if you ls, that means list all the folders inside it, it has root folder also, so there is a possibility. Okay, now if I go to root folder which is inside the current folder, then again I see the tilde. I saw the tilde earlier also, I see the tilde now also, and hence proved. So hence proved that I was basically into this root folder. Why? Because I logged in as a root user, so I landed in this folder. So the first folder that I got was this folder. So this is the default folder. Okay, so and that's why this tilde basically means when I'm logged in as a root user, tilde means the current user's home directory, which is root user's home directory, which is this folder. Okay, okay. Now what do you do? Now let me show you magic. Let me go to cd dot dot. Now I'm here. I'll say cd home. In home, let me see how many folders are there. So there is only these three things. Okay, so let me now create a website. Okay, so enough SSH at the moment. Okay, I'll come back to this, but now let's come to cloud panel. So once again, let us go to the cloud panel. So cloud panel overview, you go here. So what do you do here? You go to panel access, you go to the cloud panel. Here you give this admin user and whichever password, you must be aware of the password now. So the password, okay, admin, and my super secret password. Let me check whether recording is happening. Yeah, because many a times, it is 1 hour recording and then I keep talking and it doesn't get recorded. Okay, fine. So once you're in the cloud panel, there are two tabs: dashboard tab and sites tab. Now there is a fault in cPanel that it does not highlight whichever tab you're in. So the active tab should have been highlighted, but that is a fault with cPanel. Another fault with cPanel is it is a website, right? So that website does not have an SSL certificate. And that's why you're seeing this error that this website is insecure. I mean, I really don't understand. Cloud panel is such a big panel. They should have, or see, cloud panel is not at fault, right? Cloud panel is just a website. So cloud panel's error is this. I understand that this is cloud panel's error. But while hosting it, host panel did it. Hostinger did it. So Hostinger as such a big site, such a big company, when they host this website on my VPS, they did not add an SSL certificate. It was a very basic thing. I don't know what Hostinger people are doing. So in this regard, Hostinger is bad. Okay, now what do? We go to sites. Okay, dashboard is very simple here. That's why I'm not going to dashboard. See, in dashboard, what do you see? Which operating system it is? What is the host name? See, I told you host name is this. Hostinger tells you a different name. Hostinger says host name is this, and Hostinger is wrong. Host name is this. Okay, IPv4 address is this. You have 1 CPU core and 4 GB RAM. Okay, you know this. How that RAM was utilized, how disk space was utilized over the last few days, how memory was utilized, what is your average load over the last few days, etc. Okay, now, so on dashboard, maybe there is nothing important at the moment. Okay, maybe when you become experienced, then maybe it might be important for you. Let me change the theme to black. Yeah, it looks better. Now, in the sites, what do? You add a website. See, at the moment, see, if you go to shirasao.com, you don't see anything, right? But you do have this domain, right? So if you go to edge panel, home, see, I'm in home. Here, if you go to manage domains, the domain is working fine. The domain is active. Okay, it expires after 1 year, so it is active. And then if you go to the second tab, you see the DNS records. You see all the records are correct. It has one CNAME record saying shirasao.com, one A record giving the IP address of the VPS, and so many CAA records which I have never touched, so they must be correct. So that means this domain must be good to use, right? But then I don't see anything. Why? Because I haven't created a website on my, or I haven't hosted a website on my VPS. So I have to host a website on my VPS. So let's do that. Now doing it on GUI looks like this. I just have to add a website. Now it asks me which type of website. I'll say a basic website. I can also add a WordPress website, PHP, Node.js, Python, reverse proxy, but I'll say static HTML website. Here I'll say which domain. So this website will be hosted on which domain. So I'll say this domain, I have only one domain. What do I do? Shirasao.com. So it says when you create a website, a user gets automatically created. So this will be the user which will get created. It will have this password. You can regenerate the password or you can give your own password if you want. Okay, it depends upon you. But I never cared for these users because I never log in using these users. I always use the root user to log into SSH. But if you really wanted to log in using this user, then this is the password. Okay, I'll give a nice password. Let me give a password as Shirasao only. Okay, I created the website with user Shirasao, password Shirasao. Now if you click here or here, it will, both of the links will take you to the same place, which is managing that website. Now here there are so many tabs. Remember only about 2 tabs. One is SSL, so this SSL certificate will get installed. Okay, and due to which this kind of an error won't be there. And second is file manager, in which the data of your website will be given. So first of all, let us see whether a website is working. Yeah, it is working. It only has this SSL certificate error. Okay, you go to advanced, you go over here, see the website is working. It has hello world with a smiley as well. In the title also hello world with a smiley. So where is this coming from? So in the so in settings, you will see that the root directory is this. Which directory is this? I'll just copy this. In the SSH, let us check. cd, I'm giving the absolute path, means starting from, it starts with root, so it starts with root, right? So that means it is the absolute path, so I can always give the absolute path with a cd and it will take me to that folder. Now in this folder there is a file called as index.html. Now if you want to see the content, then you can type here cat means concatenate, not a feline. So index.html, this is the content of that file. It has body and it has this title, and that is exactly what I'm seeing. Got the idea? Now if you want to see this on the graphical user interface, then you go to file manager. Now in file manager, what is this file hierarchy? You see the hierarchy from this folder onwards, because this is that users folder, right? In the home folder, users folder is this. So in that users folder only you will see in file manager. You cannot see above that users folder using file manager. Why? Because this entire website is for this user, and so in the file manager you see only folder of this user, nothing beyond that. It is a safety measure. So here you go to htdocs, you go to this is the deployment folder. Here you have that index.html. You can double click on it, you can modify a few things if you like. You can say Amit Shirasao over here, you can save it, you can close it, you can reload it. So how to reload? Control R. Remember, Control R will clear the cache and reload it. Okay, see, fine. So that means whenever I modify this file, it gets reflected. Fine. So hosting is correct. Now what? Now let me check the folder structure again. So let me go to cd dash, means just go to the root folder. There I'll say ls. Okay, there is home, right? Cd home. In home, let me see how many users are there. So there's only one new thing that got formed, which is Shirasao. See, here also I had run it. CLP, MySQL, Ubuntu, everything was there. Only Shirasao is the newly formed thing. Got the idea? So this is how you host a website on Hostinger. Clear? Okay. Now, how to host a website on a subdomain? Let us come to that. Now, subdomain, first of all, you go to this DNS records. How did you come here? Okay, let me tell you from the beginning. Log into Hostinger. So you will land on HPanel. You will be on Home tab. Here you will see all the subscriptions taken from Hostinger. One of the subscriptions is the domain. You click the manage button ahead of it. So this is domain management page. Here again there are three tabs: overview tab, DNS and name servers, and domain ownership. So go to the second tab. Here you've seen so many tabs. Go to the first tab, that is DNS records. Here you will see these DNS records, right? Now create two new records over here. Both of them will be of A type. So type will be A. Here instead of @ you will be giving whichever subdomain you want. So I want a subdomain called as videos. Okay, don't worry about .shirasao.com, only videos. Okay, and here points to what? Points to the same IP address that you have in this other A record. Okay, so this is the IP address of your VPS. Here don't change anything, it will take some port on its own. So it has already taken the port which all the CAA records have. Okay, so I'll just say add the record. It says there is already one A record having the same content. Do you want to add another? I'll say yes, of course. Okay, so this is adding videos. So videos is a new subdomain that I have now. But if I go to videos.shirasao.com, then I don't see anything. Why? Because I did not create a website. So let me create a website. But before creating the website, this thing, let us remove it. So to do that, go to SSL action, pick the first action. Okay, you will see some errors. Don't worry about it. Don't change anything. Just click on this button, create and install. It will take a while. You cannot go anywhere else as long as this is going on. Okay, so stay, have some patience. So what this does is it installs an SSL certificate. SSL certificate is like the identification of that website. Okay, and that's why when that website opens on any browser, then the browser knows what website it is, and so it does not say that, oh, I don't know, I connected with somebody else. So this error won't come that, oh, this seems to be an insecure or not secure website, do you really want to access it, that error won't come. Okay, an error, wait a minute. Okay, I went somewhere else, my bad. Okay, too many certificates already issued. When did you issue me a certificate? यार कुछ भी बातें कर रहा है. Let me check. This is self-signed. Okay, this is self-signed. It's already there, is it? Let me just close it and let me just open it again. No, I don't have that certificate, sir. But yeah, this self-signed certificate is there and it is going to expire after 1 year. Okay, no problem. I'll show it to you in the next site. So the next site that we are creating is for videos.shirasao.com. So videos.shirasao.com. So as soon as you create this kind of a website, it creates a similar kind of a user, Shirasao videos. Variety dekho yaar logo ki, huh? You give a nice password over here. Let's call it Shirasao videos only, so that I remember the password. Okay. Site has been created. To manage the website, either click here or you click here. Now this time let us see, of course this website is visible now. See, it is visible, but it has this problem, right? So for this problem, what I'll do is I'll go and, okay, this is already there. This anyways is there. Okay, let me, DNS is required. So DNS record pointing to the servers is required. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, so DNS is not pointing to it. That's what it is saying. IP address is correct. IP address is 93.19.160. 93.19.160. Correct. Let me check in my slideshow also. So the record is this only. Correct. Here priority 0. Everything is correct. Correct. Should be correct. Okay, fine. It should be working. And VIDEOS. Here also it is VIDEOS. Oh, correct. Everything is fine. It should allow me. Let me check. Yeah, the certificate got installed. Let's encrypt, right? So in the actions I had selected new let's encrypt certificate. So this let's encrypt, this is the new one, and it will be until March 26. Today is December 26, means only for how many 3 months, 4 months. Okay, I don't know why, but only for 4 months. Okay, then I once again have to go here and create a new certificate. Not a problem for me. Now this error will go away. This error has also gone away and the website is visible, as you know. Now let me go back to that website, shirasao.com. What is the problem here then? Here also we need to do the same. Yeah, fine. It should work. There should not be a problem. Leave it, man. I might have made a mistake in my own name. Shirasao, 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 correct? Shirasao, correct, yeah. I don't know what is the problem. Maybe I'll create this website again. So how do you delete a website? Very good. Thank God it happened. So you go to manage, you go to the bottom. So where am I? I'm in settings tab. Go to the bottom and you just delete the website. You have to give this thing, just like in GitHub also you have this thing, right? Okay, and just delete it. Hey, what happened? What happened? अरे यार वही तो है. Did I give a space here? Okay, my bad. Okay, let us create a new website, static website. Just call it as shirasao.com. Sometimes I make a mistake in giving my own name. It happens a lot with me. Okay, fine. Let me manage it. It won't happen in your case. Your name must be simple. Or you will be having a website like javatutorials.com. Nice website, right? There's no chance of missing the name. My problem is that people first don't understand my last name. And I've purchased this domain for 2 years now. Okay, I don't know why this is happening, but chalo, leave it. I'll debug it in my own time. I won't take your time. Okay, let me create one more subdomain over here, adhyatma.shirasao.com. So for that, I'll create another a record. I'll say adhyatma. Okay. See, it says that these two records already exist. One is for Shirasao and another is videos. Do you want to create another? I'll say yes. Why not? Okay, I'll create a new website. Again, static one. Adhyatma.shirasao.com. User also got created. Okay, I'll manage it. I'll first set up this certificate here. The certificate gives a lot of trouble, huh? Let's do that, man. Okay, it got installed, and if I go to the file manager, I go to the root folder of this directory. This is called as the root folder of the directory. See, root directory of that, root folder of the website. Yeah. So here you have again that index file with hello world with a smiley, right? So I should be able to see it, right? Fine. So congratulations, this is how you make subdomains. Now let's come to the next part. The next part is, how do you put your website's data into this? Now I don't want to show hello world all the time. I want my website. Now I have some fantastic websites for me. Like, let me open a few of them. I have shirasao.com. So this website, if you see, let me just do ionic serve in this ionic serve so that you're able to see this website. Okay, let me also open another website. Yeah, this is that website, right? Shirasao.com. So it shows my name and all the subdomains that I have. Then if you go to these, then those subdomains open. So at the moment, my subdomains are showing hello world. And by the way, even this is also showing hello world only. If I go to shirasao.com, this is also showing hello world. So at least on shirasao.com, I want this content. Okay, because this is a very easy content to put, a very small content, less than 3 MB to be honest. So how do I do that? I first stop this. I put here ionic build dash dash prod. Okay. So I'm saying ionic build prod. So what will happen? Obviously this www folder will be created. So let me go to that folder. In this folder, let me just check the size of it. It should be, yeah, 2.92 MB. Okay, less than 3 MB. Now if I go to that, this is the content. Now if I just select everything, I start dragging, I keep holding. Now I do alter tab. Alter is hold. I can go ahead with tab 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 tab. Oh, I have to come back, back tab, space tab, space tab, space tab. Yeah, not space, shift tab. Okay, now I want to drag it to, let's say, this one. Oh, this is Adhyatma yaar. I didn't want to drag it here. Escape key. So you understand, on purpose I'm telling you how to drag and drop, because it's quite important in hosting. Okay, you go here, you go to file manager, you go to docs, you go to this, you delete everything else. Okay, now here you try to drag and drop this. Now it is saying that there are too many files. Do you want to zip it? I'll say, yeah, no, 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 don't zip it. I don't want to zip it, of course. So there is no cancel button on this. So what do I do? Hit the escape button on your keyboard. It means cancel. Okay, it copied everything along with assets. Assets folder also it copied. Huh? Sometimes it copies, sometimes it doesn't. It's very moody, yaar. I don't know. Now if you go to shirasao.com, of course that SSL certificate didn't work for me, yaar. But see, the content has come, right? So it is working, and even this thing came, and the small logo that you see over here, that is called as favicon, and it was there in this assets folder. It was in icons, and here it is. This is that favicon that I'm using. Okay, so it is being shown over here. So everything is working for this. Now let me try the same thing for videos.shirasao.com. So let me open another project, recent projects, or open recent videos. Okay, here also I'll say ionic build. Ionic build dash prod. Again, that www folder will be deleted and recreated. This folder. Okay, it got recreated. Fine. I'll go to that folder. I'll see how big it is. It is around 3.75 MB. Okay, no problem. Now I'll go inside it. I'll copy everything. Again, my jugglery, you know it. Oh yes, escape again. Go to that website, right? So go to videos, file manager, go to the root directory of your, yeah, delete everything. Now you go to this and select everything, drag and drop, escape. It is copying again. It asked me the same question again. I'm saying escape again. But this time it did not copy the assets folder. So that's what I'm saying. It's a pretty moody thing. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So due to this, what happens is when you check your website, videos.shirasao.com, it loads a couple of things, but a couple of things are not loaded. What things are not loaded? Those things which came from assets folder. So from the assets folder, the JSON came from which I populated the names of the videos over here, or the names of the playlists over here. So they are not getting populated. And now, of course, I cannot search also because I was searching out of that list only. So this is virtually a useless application for me. And why is it useless? Because this copy and paste did not work out. So let me try again. Let me try and copy these two folders which did not get copied the last time. Okay, pasting, escape. No, it still did not copy it. So that is the whole problem. Now for this, what should I do? So you know, this copy paste is a very countryside thing. Nobody does it in the city life. In the city, बड़े बड़े लोग क्या करते हैं? बड़े लोग will be using something called as FileZilla. I also thought that why don't you copy and paste, and there is anyways this upload button. Why don't you upload a file? If you upload the folder, then what happens? Okay, let's try that also. If you upload the folder, and where is that folder? Yeah, if you upload this assets folder, then what happens? Does it get uploaded? No, it can upload only files. So I'll have to upload files one by one. Did it upload? It uploaded at the wrong place, I guess. So something wrong has happened. So it is not a reliable way of doing it. That is what I want to stress upon. So then badde log will be using something called as FileZilla. What is FileZilla? FileZilla is an FTP application. So it uses file transfer protocol to communicate files or to move files across machines. Okay, file transfer protocol is a protocol used for moving files across machines. So here I will be transferring files from my local machine to my VPS. Now VPS should be coming over here, right? So for my VPS to get connected, I'll first have to connect it. So how do I do that? I go here, I see what is my VPS address, IP address, this. I paste it here. What is the username by which I want to log in? Root user. Password that I want to use, my root password. Okay. And port. If you want to give, give. If you don't want to give, don't give. It's absolutely okay. But ideally, by default, it is 22. Say quick connect. Now it says it is a potential security breach. Server does not match with the key. Okay, do I want to update the key? This again the same thing. Okay, computers when they talk to each other, they say, "Arey, you're communicating with somebody new." Why? Because I formatted it, right? So it doesn't know. So it say, okay, I'll say, okay, trust this new key and carry on with connecting. Okay, and update the cached key also. See, it got connected. When it got connected, now this is also very peculiar of FileZilla. You got connected using root user, right? So by default, it will only show you root users folder. Array, but I want home folder. How do I get to that? There is no way. If I go here, double click, there it is. Got the idea? And I saw this folder because I am a root user. That's why I could see. If I would log in by any other user like Shirasao videos, let me check. And the password was Shirasao videos only. Now it asks that already there is one connection. Do you want me to open this in a new tab? I'll say yes. So there are two tabs. So in the second tab, it is connected. Now it is logged in as Shirasao videos. Now if I double click, and now if I go to root, no, I really want to go to root. I cannot go. Why cannot I go? Because I don't have the permission to that folder. Now there might be some other users also in home. So double click, how many are there? So you double click, it gives me the content. But if I try to go to Adhyatma, no, I cannot do. Got the idea? I can see the folder, but I cannot get into it. Why? Because this is safety. Okay, you are authorized only to get into your users folder. You can see other folders, but you cannot get into it. Okay. Okay, so this is a nuance that I wanted to check and let you know. Okay, now see, it is a little difficult for you to find out every time. Okay, go to this, then go to this. This is where I wanted to be. Now the next time I connect to it, I want you to remember that this is my remote folder. So for that, what do you do? For that, don't connect like this. Ye hai Aam Zindagi. I'll tell you Mentos Zindagi. Mentos Zindagi starts here. When you click on this, you get a chance to create websites. So let me create websites afresh. So you can create a website here and you can say it is shirasao.com. Here you give whichever host, whichever port, but more importantly, don't forget to change this to SSH FTP, SFTP. Otherwise it won't work. And whichever user. So I'll say root, I'll say the password. Okay, done. I'll also go to advanced. I'll tell it which should be the default directory for shirasao.com. So the default directory should be this one. So I'll copy this. I'll go over here, paste it. That should be on default directory. What should be the default remote directory? I'll tell you how to do that. Go to your cloud panel, go to that particular site, this site. Now in this site, go to settings, copy this. Okay, it's an absolute path, so you don't need to do anything with it. It's absolutely correct. And you can okay this. Okay, you can okay this. That's it. The next time you want to connect, this is your Mentos Zindagi. You just connect, maybe in a new tab. Okay, fine. It gets connected. Here there is this folder, here there is that folder, everything is done. So this is Mentos Zindagi. Now similarly, I want Mentos Zindagi for everything else like videos.shirasao.com and adhyatma.shirasao.com. I'll have to do all this again. No, I don't have to do that again. I just click this, I say duplicate it. I call it by another name and I call it like videos.shirasao.com. Now here everything else is copied, but I need to change this, right? Now I know this, it is videos. If you don't know it, then copy and paste it, okay? But I know it, the username is shirasao-videos, and here the website's name is videos.shirasao.com. Okay, let me try it out. Open in a new tab. See, don't keep asking me every time. Why don't I say always? You can do that, okay? See, it got connected, correct directory, correct directory, okay? Now similarly, let me create it for Adhyatma as well. Oh, sorry, delete this. Yeah, just duplicate it, just call it adhyatma.shirasao.com. Everything is the same. Here the folders have to be changed to Adhyatma again. Adhyatma. Arey yaar. Okay, done. Of course, in a new tab. Done. Fine. Okay. Now close all of them. So right click, close other tabs, or close all of them, do whatever you like. Okay. Now here it is telling you the connection status. Here it is telling you the local folder. You can select the folder. The folders hierarchy is shown here, and the whichever folder you have selected, that's its content is shown here. Similarly, remote folder name or folder path, folder tree hierarchy, and folder content. Here, what is this? So this is the status of files transferred. अरे अब तक तो ट्रांसफर किया ही नहीं, but you can transfer it now. So when you transfer it, let me show it to you. So when you transfer it, it will show the status like these many files are queued. Out of them, 0 transfers have failed, but maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are successful transfers, and you can go to each of these tabs to find out only queued files, only failed transfers, and only successful transfers. They'll be shown over here. And then these buttons are for upload and download. So when you're transferring files from here to here, then in terms of FTP or in terms of FileZilla, when a file leaves your computer to the internet, it is called as upload, and then it goes to the internet, and then it reaches your VPS. So when it reaches your VPS, then the download starts, and it downloads, and after some microseconds, it gets downloaded. After the download gets completed, it is called as download complete. So when the remote site starts the download, it sends a message through FTP to FileZilla and tells it that I'm downloading this. Okay. And then as soon as the download is done, it once again tells that, oh, this got downloaded. Got the idea? So as soon as upload starts, it glows this green button. As soon as upload ends, it turns it off. As soon as download starts and this remote site conveys it to FTP, FileZilla shows this red button on. And as soon as the download is off and this server tells it the download is off, it turns off this light. So now during the file transfer, you'll see these lights keep on glowing. It happens so fast that due to persistence of vision, you won't be able to make out that they are turning on and off and on and off and on and off. Right? Got the idea? So this is what it is. Okay, so now what you do is, I'll do one thing. I'll just delete. Where am I? I'm in Adhyatma. Okay, I'm in Adhyatma. Okay, forget about this. Does not get cleared here. Let me clear the bar so that I don't get confused. I'm in Adhyatma, or I should look at the title. Yeah, I'm in Adhyatma. So in Adhyatma, at the moment, I'm not seeing anything, right? I'm deleting. I'll just copy everything from here. I'll select and paste. See, everything is getting copied. Successful transfers are increasing. No failed transfer so far, and queued files are these. It will tell you the progress. You see the time, you see everything. A lot of things are given over here. Okay, fine. It takes its time. It takes its time, but it does it in a nice way. Just like last time when we copied and pasted or just dragged and dropped it, at that time assets folder did not get copied. Such things don't happen in FTP. In FTP, they do it a little more responsibly. Okay. Okay, then how many more? 300 more. Once that is done, I'll just refresh this adhyatma.shirasao. So instead of hello world, it should be showing something. Okay, done. Reload. See, it is showing the website. Now let me see all the images have come, the JSON has come. I can search from here. I can go to the respective RT and I can check it. I can even do the share functionality. It is also working. Perfect. Okay, so I think it got deployed nicely. Instead of dragging and dropping, FTP is a better way of doing it. Okay, now till here it is more than sufficient for you. Okay, but then ye dil mange more, we'll do something more. So and yeah, I'm also a lazy kind of a person. That's also a thing. So I'll usually configure everything to do things automatically. So now what I don't like is, yeah, every time I have to build it. Okay, if I make any change, I have to make the change, then I have to build it, then I have to check this build artifact, then I have to copy it using FTP from here to here. Arey baap re, kitna kaam hai. So if you're also a lazy person like me, and if you want to configure it in such a way that this happens on its own, I don't have to build it on my PC. Imagine if my virtual private server, that is VPS, takes the latest from Git, take the latest code from the Git. Okay, so it Git clones my repository on the VPS itself. Then it does one thing. It does npm install, and then it does ionic build prod. So build artifact gets created, and then it copies the content of that build artifact from there to the deployment folder. That means the root folder of my website. What if all this happens automatically? There should be just one script to do this on my VPS. I'll just execute that script. Think about it, right? Maza aaya? Agar maza aaya, to this is what it is. This is what we are going to do now. Now, let us program on VPS. Let's write a script on VPS, and that script, okay, script I'll have to execute, but only that script. I don't have to give so many commands. Oh, please, why don't you npm install, then ionic ionic build prod, and then copy this, that. I'll write one script once, and it will always work like that. So let us plan for it. So how do we do that? Let me first go to that folder where I always go when I log in. So I'll log in as a root user, so I'll be in this folder, right? In this folder only, I'll create a directory, mkdir. I'll call it as code. Okay, I'll go inside that directory. Okay, I hope you're able to see. Yeah, now I'll clear this. So clear, array yaar, clear. Yeah, I'm in this folder. Now here I'll do git clone. Believe me, git clone does not happen like this. You need to install GitHub, you need to authenticate and log in using that GitHub. So just giving you an idea that it doesn't work like this. How much is the time? Let me check. Okay, I'll try to summarize it quickly. Okay, now let us go to GitHub. This is my GitHub. Let me log in. Wow, I'm already logged in. I'll go to the repo which I want. Let us say shirasao.com. Over here, I'll go to code. I'll say this is my HTTPS link. I'll just copy this. I'll go back to everything is black here. Yeah, here it is. Git clone, and I'll paste it. See, it asks me for the username. Okay, giving the username. It asks me for the password, giving the password. Okay, what does it say? It says that the support for password authentication was removed on 13th of August 2021. Okay, so henceforth, if you want to log in, then this is the way in which you can log in, and here's the help. How do you open it? Don't copy this and paste it. See, just hover over it and press Control and click. It will automatically open in the default browser. Okay, now it tells you a lot of things, but you don't understand anything because yeah, it is not well made. I'll tell you a better way of doing it. Okay, so just do one thing. Even in my slides, I've given it in a very nice way. So even in my slides, yeah. So in the slides, I told you about the folder structure. Now, in order to execute this kind of commands that ionic build prod, I need to install ionic. For installing ionic, I need npm, node package manager, and for npm, I need node. I need to install all of these. So here are the commands using which you can do that. I told you about super user. If you want to read about it, this is called as apt. Apt is what? Advanced packaging tool. It is just like NuGet in .NET, Maven in Java, or npm in JavaScript. So basically it is just a package manager. What does a package manager do? Package manager keeps a track of all the packages that are installed and all the dependencies that those respective packages have. If you want to update a package, then ask package manager to do it, because it will also update the dependencies accordingly. If you do it manually, then you might get into a DLL hell. What is DLL hell? DLL hell is this only, that you update the upper package, but it was dependent on some other package, and that now the newer version requires some other version of that lower package, and that you forgot to upgrade because you're a human being. You make mistakes, but machines don't do these mistakes, and so rely upon the machines. So apt is a free command line tool that Linux uses, especially Debian based Linux uses. Okay, it is just like npm. Okay, so even in JavaScript also, what do? You say npm update @ionic/cli if a new version of ionic has come. You do it like that, right? Because all the underlying dependencies like underscore or something like that will get updated automatically, and you don't have to care about it. So you get saved from DLL hell. Okay, now apt, it is customary that whenever you install any software, then you should first be updating apt. What is updating apt? Apt update means you update your information about what all packages exist. Where does it keep these this updated knowledge? It keeps it on Linux only, maybe in etc folder somewhere it keeps. So what it does, it keeps like a dictionary. Okay, that when you say apt install node.js, then it should know what is node.js, right? So that is the definition of node.js. So by definition, I mean node.js package. When I say install node.js, then it has to go to so and so website to download it. Of course, that website will be of Debian only, because this is Debian based Linux SES tool. So definitely it will go to the Debian. So it will ask its parent company, oh dear parent company, do you know something like, oh, you already told me that you have this package node.js, so could you please send me that package? That's what it does. So for this to happen, apt should be aware of what all packages exist with Debian. Okay, and that is called as index files, package index files. So those package index files are updated using this command. Another good command that I've never used but you can use is apt full upgrade. Full upgrade means whatever packages have been downloaded and installed by apt on this system, all of them will be upgraded to their latest version. Imagine doing this in Windows. In Windows, this is not possible, because in Linux, almost everything that we are using, especially from apt, whatever you download is free to use. There is no proprietary ownership. Most of the thing, even if there is any proprietorship, it is with the Debian company only, which you already have the Linux from that company, right? So there is no problem. But in Windows operating system, if you try to do something like that, that all the software should get updated, then imagine how many software you have. Let us say I am having Camtasia using which I am recording. So this is Camtasia. So Camtasia will have to be reinstalled. I am saying full upgrade. So I bought Camtasia in 2020, so I have license for Camtasia 2020, but the latest version must be 2024. So for that, I don't have the license. So what do I do? It cannot be upgraded. Then what about MS Office? Oh well, that also cannot be updated. Then anything and everything that is proprietary, it cannot be updated. What can be updated? Only Notepad, WordPad, whatever comes free with the operating system can be upgraded. But even that, see, how many times have you seen updates for Notepad? Never. Updates for WordPad? Never. That's why this thing is not done on Windows, but it's a very popular thing on Linux. And that's also a reason why people love Linux. And this is some part of it is also available on Mac OS. Why? Because there also one company is giving you all the software. So it is within that umbrella. So you can do that. But in Windows, there is so many software from different uh, companies that this full upgrade thing cannot be done. Or do let me know in the comment section if you have a workaround for that. Okay, so this is it. Some interesting knowledge. It must be getting boring now. Update bash. So what this does is apt update. Apt update means this index will get updated. Okay, done. After that, you have to run all these commands for installing node, npm, ionic, git, github. I know them already, so let me directly go here and let me show you my memory. Okay, so it is let me see whether git exists. Git does exist. Okay, so I don't need to install git. Then I'll need ionic. For ionic, I'll need npm. For npm, I'll need node.js. Okay, so first of all, apt update yourself, please. Now you might say, why am I not using sudo? I'm not using sudo because sudo is a keyword which is used by non super users. Super user means admin user. In Linux, they call it as super user. So I'm already logged in as a super user, right? Which is root. So I don't need to use that sudo keyword. But had I been logged in by a user like Shirasao videos, then I would have to use sudo, because that command, if it requires admin rights, then I should be using sudo keyword before it. Okay, so that command will get executed as a super user. So since I'm logged in as root user, I don't need to use sudo all the time. Okay, so done. Now once that is done, I'll do apt. Now that you have updated yourself, why don't you install node.js? It is asking me that node.js is 70 MB is big, so do you want to install it? Do you have the disk space? I say yes, I do have. Okay, it's installing it. Okay, node.js got installed. Then I'll say node version. Let us see which version it installed. 18.19. Okay, ठीक है, चलो कोई बात. I'll say apt. Could you please install npm? Now it will install npm. I'll say yes, please install it, although it is 344 MB. Yeah, this npm 340 MB is just taking a lot of time. See, the speed that it promised me was 50 terabytes. It doesn't look like that, by the way. 50 terabytes, and it is panting on just 344 MB. But the websites run quickly, as far as I've seen. Almost 2 hours here. Let's wrap it up soon. Those who are still watching, thank you. Okay, so it is done. Now npm, npm version 9.2.0. Okay, fine. Now I want npm to install globally ionic CLI. Now it won't ask me that, okay, it is these many MBs, why don't you do you really want to install it? Why? Because npm does not have that style of doing it. Apt has that style of doing it. When I asked Apt to install something, Apt said, okay, there is this many MBs, do you really want me to install it? npm does not have that style. Npm says bola hai na, karne ka, bas khatam. Okay, now here ionic, let us check ionic version. Oh, spelling mistake, version, yes. So ionic version, come on, अरे यार ऊपर ही दिया होगा 7.2. See, 7.2. Okay, done. Now I can take the latest. So but for taking the latest I need GitHub as a plugin. I need to install, not plugin, but it is a package. So it is an apt package, so I need to install it. So I'll ask, dear apt, could you please install GitHub. Okay, done. Now I'll say GitHub, what is the version? This is the version. Okay, now remember what I'm doing. This is very important. You first have to log into GitHub and then you can clone. So how to do that? You just say GitHub auth login. It asks you whether you want to log into github.com or GitHub Enterprise Server. I'll say github.com. Then what is the preferred protocol for Git operations on this host? Is it HTTPS or SSH? So always remember, why is GitHub authentication required? Because Git clone does not happen unless you do that. Importance of the protocol. Now, during GitHub authentication, if you used HTTPS, then during cloning also you should use HTTPS only. Then only it will work. If you use SSH during GitHub login, then during cloning also you should use SSH only. Okay. Okay, so I'm using HTTPS. It will say authenticate Git with your GitHub credentials, yes or no. I'll say yes. That's the whole purpose of it. Why is it asking here? I don't understand. How would you like to communicate with the GitHub CLI? So using the browser or using an authentication token? I'll say using the browser. First, copy your one-time code. Okay, I'll copy it as you say. So how do you copy it? Select something and then right click anywhere in the window. That is the Linux way or terminal way of copying things. Enter. Yeah, have you copied? Yes, I have copied. Then you say enter. Then it will open it in the browser. It could not open it due to some reason. So you just control and click on it. So it opens in the browser. Yeah. So here you continue. You paste it. Continue. Okay. Okay, here your password. Okay, done. I'm authenticated. Then you go to the terminal. Here also it will say I am authenticated. Okay, now your git clone command will work. So git clone and let us say HTTPS. We use HTTPS, right? See, if you forgot, go up and check. So which protocol? HTTPS, right? So here I'm giving the link of HTTPS. Copy, paste. See, cloning happened, no problem. If you go and check, sorry, ls, see, it is there. If you do cd, Shirasao, ls, everything is there. Now here I'll do npm install so that node modules folder will be created. Okay, let this happen. Till that time, let me see the root directory of my website. So the root directory of my website is this. I'll copy this. Okay, let this happen. Okay, once this is done, I'll do Ionic build, or let me show you the folders. So here, see, node modules got created. So npm install is successful. Now, if you see here, Ionic build dash dash prod. Okay, so it will take its own time. Is there anything else that I need to tell you? Okay. Creating an opening files. So this is how you create a file, and then I have these scripts also written. So, okay. So in Windows, in Linux, if you want to create a file, then there's a command called cat, means concatenate, and then you give an arrow, and then you give the file name, okay, and you keep on, after that you just enter, and then you keep on typing whatever you like, and whenever you want to stop, you just type Control D. So then that file gets saved, and again this prompt appears. Then if you want to see the content of that file, just type cat and the file name. Okay, yes, हो गया ना. अब क्या करेंगे? ls, let us see. This is the build artifact folder. It is there in place. Now what do? You first of all, I have copied this path, right? I have copied this path. Okay, so this is the root directory of my website. So what I'll do is I will first of all remove root directory. So this thing, not the directory, but all content into it. Okay, and let us say that it has some folders and folders within folders. So I have to remove everything in that directory recursively. So for that, I'll say -r. Okay, removed. Now let me check whether it got removed. Let me go there, let me check. Yes, it got removed. Let me go to shirasao.com. Yeah, it probably got removed. Yeah, it got removed. So this error also, this error is not for Nginx. What is Nginx? Nginx is just like IIS is the web server on Windows, Nginx is the web server for Linux. Okay, and this error is not for Nginx. The error is because this folder, root folder of your website does not have a single index.html file. That's the reason why you're seeing it. If you add any index.html file, so if you add like index.html, then this error goes away. See, now that file is empty, so you're seeing empty page. If you type something into that file, hello exclamation mark, save, close, you see hello. Got the idea? Okay. Now you can once again run this to remove everything. Once again you'll see this. Now now you copy the content from www into that folder. So how do you do that? There is a command called copy. Again, copy recursively and forcibly. So whenever you write in Linux, whenever you give this dash, after dash you can give all the parameters in one go. You don't need to say -r, -f, not like that. You give one dash and give all of them together, because all the parameters are always single lettered in Linux. It's a good advantage. Okay, now what to do? Even in Windows also, as far as I've seen, it is single letter only, but I don't know why Windows does not allow it. All of them stay in one place. Yeah, it goes way easier. Okay, now what? Copy from this thing www. So what is the path of that? I'm already in this folder, so I'll just write www, but content of it, not the folder, content of it means /star. And where I've already copied it, this place, but not this place, correct. Okay, let me do that. It happened instantly. Now if I reload, see, it has come because these files have come here. Let me reload. See, the files have come. Got the idea? So this is easier, isn't it? If you call it easy. It is really easy if you don't have to do so many commands. one after the other. Why don't you create a script file like this one, right? Deploy shirasao.com sh, and inside that you copy all this content. So let me just copy this content. Let me copy the file name also यार. ऐसा क्या है, copy तो अपन ऐसा करते हैं ना, we copy everything, okay, along with the file name. So you go here, you say clear everything yaar. Let's go back to the same folder which I love, that's my root users home folder or default folder. Okay, so I'm just copying this name and I'll say cat. We learned about this command, right, in this slide, right? Same thing I'm showing you. Cat arrow, then the file name, enter. Now you are free to keep typing in this file. You can even copy and paste. So I can copy this and I'll paste it. Warning, paste anyway. Whatever you're about to paste, the text contains contains multiple lines. If you paste this text into shell, it may result in unexpected. Do you still wish to continue? Well, okay, no problem, fine. And see, the reason why you see this kind of warning sometimes is, I don't know why it showed it. Maybe it is just for the security and anything. But there is a real problem also in copying things from Windows to Linux, because the new line character and the carriage return, it is different for Windows and Linux. So many a times it leads to problems. Okay. But I hope this time it won't cause. So now I'll do Control D. I have stopped typing. Control D. See, prompt has come. That means this command has completed execution. Now I'll say cat without arrow, the name of the file. I don't remember the whole name, so I'll just say DE and then tab. So it completes the name. Yeah, it's working fine. So now I'll say bash. I told you what is bash. Bash is the interpreter which interprets my command. So I'm saying bash, could you please interpret this file? Okay, deploy tab. Now this script is running on its own. Authenticity of the GitHub can't be established. Yeah, authenticity cannot be established because I must have given this link. It is not HTTPS link, it is SSH link. So that is why I'll say no, forget about it. Control C, come out of it. Okay, first of all, let us either you change this URL or you log in using SSH protocol. So generate an SSH key. Yes, SSH key login is a little different because it will ask you the name of the SSH key that you want to save. Means it will generate an SSH key, but it will allow you to do the namkaran, to name that key. Okay, so enter a parameter. This is like password. So no, I don't want password, but title of the SSH key, that is name of the SSH key, you can decide. So I'll say GitHub SSH key, simple, for Amit Shirasao account, but it's okay, it's understood. Okay, login using the web browser, again the same drill, just copy this. Okay, I'm not able to copy it for some reason. Come on. Okay, anyways, I'll paste it. I'll type it down. 6306 6306 71E. Okay, fine. Done. Logged in. Logged in. Okay, now once again I'll run this command. Please execute this script. Now, are you sure you want to try connecting? I'll say yes, please, why not? Permanently added it. Next time it won't ask. And it is cloning it. So what has happened? So here also, you know, it must have done something. I'll tell you what. It has added it to the known hosts. So where are known hosts in Linux? I'll show you that. Let me ask Google by that time. Gemini, can you tell me where does Linux store known hosts? Mm, yeah, it saves it in home SSH. Or home means whichever user it is. Dollar home means whichever user it is. So for our case, it is root. In root, there will be a dot SSH and then known host. Okay, fine. Okay, let it happen. Almost there. So you can guess from this that what must be going on. Cloning must be going on. Then npm install must be going on. So these warnings, and then here probably it started with um, the build creation, right? So inec build prod has started here. You could also have put some echo commands into this. Echo means print this on the screen. So you could echo it. You could say here that see npm install started, npm install ended, build started, build ended, something like that. Okay, but it's pretty obvious from whatever it is giving out that this has happened. Only two moderate vulnerabilities, these many packages, and all everything is fine. Build is taking some time. It is almost done. Come on, come on. Okay, done, 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 done. I hope it is copying also. Great, great, great. Array, nahi, this build wala copy hai ye. Done. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just check this website and it should be up and running. Yeah, this should be up and running. Proceed. Yeah, it is up and running. Okay, so although we have all these scripts made, I am a little more lazy. I feel that why do I need to run these scripts on my own? Even that work should be automated. So for that, I need Jenkins. Jenkins is what? I'll show it to you. Jenkins is a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, means a CI/CD tool. So what it does is it basically checks if there is any commit done on a certain branch of your Git repo, then it automatically triggers a pipeline. And in that pipeline, there can be build stage, there can be deploy stage. So automatically build will also happen, deployment will also happen, everything will happen. Well, when I said Jenkins does it, Jenkins only takes care of the pipeline. And this automated thing that is done using webhooks. So it is not actually Jenkins alone, it works along with GitHub to get this done. So GitHub is having that webhook. So every time there is a commit on a certain cloud branch, then GitHub can send a request to Jenkins to trigger the build, and then the build gets triggered. So Jenkins is kind of a dumb thing that only triggers the build when somebody tells it to trigger the build. But who is the intelligent one? It is the GitHub, which has webhook, and it using the webhook, it conveys Jenkins that some commit has happened on the master branch of cloud master branch. So please trigger a build or trigger a build of the pipeline. Okay, so let's get started with Jenkins. So Jenkins is a little technical thing. Uh, it requires Java version 17 only. It is very particular about Java version. Okay, so we'll first install JDK 17 GRE. Okay, I'll just copy this. I'll paste it over here. Yeah, I'll paste it. So it says it has these many MBs. So do you want to install it? Yes. Okay, so it is installing JRE. After that, we'll check what is the version of Java. Then we will make a directory for Jenkins, and there we will download Jenkins. So wget means download Jenkins, and this is the URL for that jenkins.war. .war file means it is a file in which all the code of Jenkins is given. So when you use Jenkins, so basically you just say java dash jar means run this jar file. It's a jar file only. They are just calling it .var, and execute it. Got the idea? So this is all that Jenkins has. Okay, now Java version is JDK 17, because that is exactly what Jenkins needs or wants. Now make this directory. Again, USR folder is Unix system resources. USR it should be. Unix system resources. Okay, so I'll copy this, I'll paste it. Okay, now I'll try to go into that, and there I'll download this. So I'll go into that, and there I'll download this. You also have to just copy and paste. In the PDF that I'll provide, you can copy and paste, no problem. You can copy from that PDF, no problem. It will have a watermark, but over the watermark also you can copy, no problem. Okay, here you copy. This is how you run a Jenkins file. So java dash jar and then the Jenkins file. So where have we downloaded it? Inside Jenkins folder, we have downloaded this file, jenkins.var. If you want to check that, maybe I can show that to you. CD Unix system resources share. It is share, not shared. It is share. And then Jenkins, and here, did it not download? Where did you save it then? I said, did I CD to it? Oh, I did not change the directory to it. My bad. So, okay, no problem. Here I'll download it again. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I have downloaded it. Now let me ls. Yeah, here is the file. That file also exists in root folder. Let me delete it. CD root ls. See, I've downloaded here by mistake. So I'll do one thing. I'll remove jenkins.var. Okay, ls, it is removed. Okay, now once again I'll go back to, or maybe I'll just run this from anywhere. I can run this from anywhere because it has the complete path of this file. So I'll just I had given this thing earlier, so delete this thing. So now Jenkins is running for the very first time. When it runs for the first time, you need to set it up. Okay, so there's a peculiar way in which you set it up. This is a password, super secret by the way, but it's okay, yaar, koi baat nahi. You copy this, otherwise it is also there in this particular folder. So you can go to this folder, then also you will get it. It is in the root users folder, Jenkins means .jenkins secrets and initial admin password. Don't worry, after this video, once again I'll download Jenkins file, and once again I'll do this process, so don't worry about it. So let me copy this. Now how to open Jenkins? So the default port that Jenkins uses is 8080. I'm not sure whether it has given it somewhere, but it does use 8080. Okay, so what you have to do is, what is the IP address of my this thing, VPS? It is this, right? After that you just type 8080. That's it. So this is Jenkins for you. Oh yeah, it is not appearing because I have to use the firewall to open that port. Right now, which firewall? It should be the firewall of whichever machine, on whichever machine this Jenkins is running. Which machine is that? My VPS, Linux machine. Now Linux has firewall called as uncomplicated firewall. Short form is UFW. So how do I create a rule to allow traffic on that particular port? So for allowing incoming traffic on that port, this is the command, and for allowing outgoing traffic, this is the command. Okay, so let me do that. Let me remove, stop this. Jenkins stopped. Okay, and here I'll say uncomplicated firewall, allow 8080 for TCP traffic. Okay, it has added 2 rules, so I'll just check, means uncomplicated firewall status. So what all are the rules which are in action? So this is the rule for IP version 6, and a similar rule must be for IP version 4. So it creates rules for IP version 6 as well as 4. Okay, now this is for incoming traffic. For outgoing traffic, again the same thing, except here I should write out. Rules were added. Let me check the status. Yeah, yeah, these out, allow out. So for outgoing, only these 2 rules are there. No one else created any rules for, means for any other port, outgoing rules are not created. Only these 2 are there. So one is for IPv4 traffic, and this is for IPv6. Okay, great, no problem. Then you should also do, this is just customary, people do it. I don't know why you should do it. Ideally, this is already enabled. The status is already active. That means the firewall is already working, but still it is said that you should do uncomplicated firewall enable. That means start the firewall. It's already in the started stage. See, if you see UFW status, it is active, and see, nothing changes. You do UFW status now, then also everything is exactly the same. Nothing has changed. So I'm not sure whether this command is really needed or not, but I asked all these things to the AI, and whichever AI it was, it told me that you have to do this. I said, okay, fine, no problem. But even if I don't do it, it does work. I tried skipping that state and it still works. Now once again, Jenkins. So when you type up arrow, the previous command appears. When you type down arrow, the one after that gets appeared. Okay, I'm running this. Okay, let it load, and finally we will be configuring Jenkins. Okay, now here I'll just copy this and I'll go over here. Yeah, the Jenkins is working now. See, now on the first load, it is going to ask you for that password. I'm pasting it. I'll install the suggested plugins. It will take a while to install all these plugins. As and when these plugins get installed, on the right hand side I see the status of it. See, about Jenkins, if you want to know more, then I already have this video on, in which I have given a great deal of detail about Jenkins and everything about Jenkins. Okay, so here I'll be limited. I won't give all the knowledge about Jenkins, because it will be a repetition. Already it is a very long video. Okay, by the time this is happening, I'll go to GitHub. Now GitHub, these are my repos and this is my account. You go to your account, your account's settings. Okay, then you scroll to the bottom. The last option is developer settings. You go here, you go to the last option, that is PAT, that is personal access token. And here there are 2 ways of creating personal access token. One is this way, the newer way, and this is the classic way, the older way. So I go for the newer way. I've already created one, but I'll delete it and create another for you. Okay, so I'll create a new token. Once again, I'm repeating, how did we come here? Profile settings, lowermost option is developer settings, lowermost option is PAT, first option is fine grained tokens. Click on it. Now you say generate new token. Here you give a nice token name. Let's call it as GitHub PAT. But people usually call it as PAT, which is personal access token. Now, after how many days should it expire? So you can select whichever you want. Okay, I'll say 7 days. So after 7 days, I have to come back here and I have to, update it. Or means I have to change it. I have to either regenerate it. Is there a regenerate option? I'm not sure, but maybe I'll have to generate a new token. And if you don't want all this hamesha ki generate, then you can say no expiration. It will keep on giving you this warning all the time. Even when you complete doing this, after that also it will show you that warning. Okay, but it's up to you. So you just gave name over here, you set the expiration duration, and then you come here. This access, this pad, that is personal access token, should allow access to which repos, all the repos, all public repos, or select repos. So I'll say select repos, shirasao.com, videos.com, and adhyatma.shirasao.com. Fine. Now, what all permissions do you want? So in account permission, don't give any account permission. Only in the repo permission, give read-only permission for two things. Content, read-only permission. Okay. And the second permission you need to give is metadata read-only. It takes automatically because it's mandatory. Okay. Okay. Now overview, it is once again telling you, you have given permission to two repos for, you have given these two permissions for these three repos. So this is repository permission, account permission 0. I haven't given any. Okay, correct. Now I'll say generate token. See, here also it is giving that warning that you have not set the expiration date. Now I will copy this. I'll come here. Okay, the setup is still not complete. Those initial packages have been installed. Now I'll create a username. And I'll give a password and full name and email address. Okay, done. Okay, I say it's saved. Save and continue. Yeah. Now it is saying that this is the URL that you need to remember henceforth. So henceforth, this will be your URL for your Jenkins. So in this URL, this is your VPS IP. Okay, so instead of localhost, we gave this, right? And Jenkins is always hosted on 8080 port. So you save and finish. Jenkins is ready. Start using it. Start using it means it only reloads the page. And now you start seeing this because you're already logged in. Now the first thing that you do is on the dashboard, you come to Jenkins, manage Jenkins. You have copied pad, right? You have copied pad from here. So now you come here in manage Jenkins, dashboard, manage Jenkins. Now there are two things related to credentials. One is credential provider, another is actual credentials. So select this option, credentials. Click that. Now inside this, keep going inside. Okay, so now you are in dashboard, manage Jenkins, credentials, system, global credentials, unrestricted. Here you say add credentials. Keep this user and password, username with password. Don't change anything. Scope, keep as it is. Username, give any username whichever you like my GitHub pad or personal access token. In the password, whatever you have copied from here, you paste it over here. You copied from here, you pasted it here. Okay. ID leave blank, description leave blank. You say create. This credential got created. Got the idea? Now you go to dashboard. You create a new pipeline. You name the pipeline as shirasao.com because this will be for shirasao.com. Select the pipeline and okay. So this is a general pipeline. Over here, you say that the script will come from the SCM. SCM means source control manager. So source code manager. So source code manager that we have is Git. It says what is the repo path. So go here to your repository and you copy the HTTPS link. You paste it here. Now credentials. Which credentials do you want? See, it will give you an error here. Big error it will give. Right? It does give a big error here. But anyways, so you go and select this so that error will go away. Then it says that for within master branch, there will be a file called Jenkins file. It will be at the root level. Okay. And this will have the script for your pipeline. Now I have already created that file in shirasao.com. At the root level, there is a file called Jenkins file, and it has this pipeline code. This pipeline code also I have given in one of the slides. Maybe towards the end. Here is that pipeline Jenkins file code also I have given. Okay, so you can copy it from here also if you want. Okay, obviously you change home / whatever your username is, and then whatever your website name is, change it accordingly. But here is how you should be writing this file. Mind you, the file's name is Jenkins file without a space. F is small, J is capital. Okay, so the file is already created. Okay, done. Just save it. Now if you build it, it will take the pipeline code from that file. Okay, so let us investigate what it is doing. Here you can go to console output. See what did it do. Let me zoom in a bit. See, it started cloning. So cloning is successful. That means the pat that we copied, personal access token, that worked. Git cloning happened. Okay, fine. Then which commit message? So this must be my last commit, right? Minor change using IAM instead of IAM. Okay, so is this the latest commit? Yeah, this is the latest commit. You see here, minor change. I'm using IAM instead of IAM. Okay, fine. Then also you can check this also, by the way. So here it is, right? It is the same. Then first time build. Okay, skipping change log. Okay, fine. Here it is saying pipeline. This is the pipeline script that we gave, right? So it read the pipeline script. Accordingly, in the pipeline only I had said npm install. So see, it is executing npm install. Whenever a new thing gets executed from the pipeline, then it gives a plus over there. So plus this command. So this command is getting executed. Okay, then next it said this command is getting executed and it is still going on. Okay, this command. Now let me show you how that pipeline is coded. So first of all, you have to write, it's a JSON file. Okay, so this is the pipeline object. Inside this agent, you choose any agent. Agent means a build agent, means something that will build your pipeline. Okay, now what are the stages in this pipeline? So this is, there's only one stage, and in this there are these steps. Okay, and the stage name is build and deploy, and in the stages I'm saying it's a shell script, and then whatever command I want to give. Whenever you want to give commands like npm install, init build prod, you have to enclose it in quotations, and before that you have to say sh. That means it is shell script. Okay, that's all. Yeah, finished, success. Okay, so see, all of these steps happened, and after that it told it is executing these, ding 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 ding, executed, done. So the way it starts executing is, here it starts the, it says build stage is there, then sh, and then this command. So till sh it is read and this is executed. Then once again it will read sh, and yeah, this is being read from pipeline. Okay, pipeline script, and then executing this. So there is plus over there. Then once again from the pipeline it is reading this remove command, and it is getting executed. Okay, then here from the pipeline it is saying copy command, executed. Then it is saying okay, bracket close, bracket means brace close, brace close, brace close, brace close, end of the pipeline. That means pipeline is successfully executed. There was no exception, that's why it said it is successfully executed. Okay, so this is how you execute your pipeline. Now I'll tell you one more nuance into this, that the build time that it will show is you will say that okay, 2 minutes ago, but the time that it is showing is not Indian Standard Time. So if you want to convert it to Indian Standard Time, see, the time that it is showing is It is 8 p.m. in India. So almost 8 p.m. means 10 minutes to 8. Okay. So for Indian time to be shown, this is UTC time, by the way. So for Indian time to be shown, go to account settings, go to account, and then you scroll down till the bottom. Here is the time zone. Now if you search for India, you get a lot of options and you might get confused. These options are for those countries which are very close to India and which are very small island nations. It's for them. But for us, the entire country, there is IST. So search for IST. So for big countries, we have standard time, right? But for smaller countries, they go by the standard time of some other country. Okay. So many people, many countries go by the standard time of India. So, but if you're an Indian, you should select IST. Say save. Now, if you look at the time, okay, go to this pipeline. You go to the time that it shows is 7:47. Okay, as I told you, it was 10 minutes to 8. So yeah, I must have triggered it 3 minutes before, something like that. Okay, and it took 2 minutes 17 seconds to build in duration. Okay, so correct, it must be correct only. Okay, now this is done, but still for super users, I'll give one more tip. Even here I have to click build now, right? So instead of running the script from here, I have to run the script from here by building it. I still have to click a button. If I'm so lazy that I don't even want to click a button, then what should I do? So for that, you need to go to your Git repository, you go to settings, you go to webhooks, and here you create a webhook. So I've already created one, but let me delete it for you. Okay, add webhook. Here in payload URL, you give this domain name. Okay, so that means your VPSS address, means IP address, colon 8080, because that is the domain on which this Jenkins is running. Okay, and then you say slash, then you say GitHub without a dash. Now you give a dash, say webhook. It is not webhooks, it is webhook, and then slash. Remember this, if you make any mistake in giving this URL, then it doesn't work. Okay, this is a big problem. Now you don't change anything except this one. Here you say application or JSON. That's it. Rest everything you have to keep the way it is. Done. As soon as you add it, now it is successfully created. This is fine. We sent a ping and all, everything is fine. You reload the page. This should be a tick. Okay, you reload the page. See, there is a tick and it is saying last delivery was successful. You need to see this message, and if you don't see this, then that means the webhook is not properly configured. Then probably you made some mistake over here. Okay. Okay, now coming back to Jenkins. In Jenkins, you just configure this pipeline. So you're on dashboard, you're on that pipeline, you configure the pipeline. Here you just check this option, GitHub hook trigger for SSM polling, and say save. That's it. Now you see there is only one build. Now if I just commit something into this if I push some changes to that master branch, then automatically a build will be triggered. So instead of I am, let me say I'm just making a small change so that I can understand. And test change to trigger pipeline. Okay, and I'll also say that it's a minor change. Okay, commit it. Committing won't do anything. You have to push these changes because your pipeline is looking at master branch. This GitHub is looking at the master branch of cloud, right? The cloud master branch. Then only that. What is going on? No. This button I wanted to click, or sync button. Yeah. So the webhook will get triggered now, and that webhook will tell Jenkins that, please see, it has told also. See this, it has started. Finished waiting, it has started. So finished waiting means it waits for an agent to build the pipeline. And I have said in the pipeline, right? Any agent will do, just run it. So it got triggered on its own. Now, if you go to that pipeline, and if you go to the console out, you see that this was started by GitHub push. It was started by GitHub push. By which user? My user. This user is the user of this user, means my GitHub user, this user. Okay. So that user pushed something to that repository. Okay. And Jenkins file was obtained from here. This anyways, it would tell. So I'll show it to you. If you go to the first build, and here if you see the console output, what is the trigger point? Started manually by Amit Shirasao. Who is this Amit Shirasao? Amit Shirasao means the Jenkins wala Amit Shirasao. Okay, this Amit Shirasao, this guy, this Amit Shirasao. Okay, so this was manually started, and that was started by GitHub push. Okay, that's it. Rest of the messages will be the same. Obtain Jenkins file, then running the pipeline, everything will be the same. Okay. So I think that is all, but there is still one nuance. I'll tell you what. Now suppose you are running the Jenkins file over here. Terminal has stopped. Okay, or maybe you have stopped it. Now if you reload it, it is not showing you anything, because see, it is not going anywhere, nothing is happening, because it is off, it is not working. So now I want this Jenkins to be working 24/7. For that, what should I do? So for that, there is one more PPT that I had created. See, nothing is happening, right? So for that, there are two slides at the end of this PPT. Keep Jenkins running all the time. Okay, so how do we do that? You create a file called as Jenkins service, and you copy and paste all these things to it. So basically what we are saying is, Jenkins service is such that it runs for user Jenkins, group Jenkins, work directory will be this. This is where data will be kept. Maybe variables data will be saved in this var folder and all. Execution starts. So how do you execute it? So you run this command to execute it. On restart it on failure, etc. Everything is given. So this is how this service should be kept running. And how do you tell that this service should be kept running all the time? So you tell it like this, that system control enable this service and start this service. Now there is a difference between enable and start. Enable means this service should auto start itself upon machine restart. Okay, whenever machine starts, this service should start. That is called as enabling the service to start itself on its own. But starting a service means you are now starting it. It's a one-time thing. You are starting it now manually. That is start. But enable means you are enabling it to start itself upon the machine boot. Okay. Of course, there are similar verbs, like instead of enable, you can write here disable. So it's superpower to start itself on its own whenever PC starts. That superpower will be taken off. Okay, so that means it is disabled. And stopping means it has started, now you have stopped it. Got the idea? So these are the four words: enable, disable, start, stop. So let me start it and then enable it. Okay, that's it. That is it. So yeah, and then there is something else. Restart the system daemon. What is a daemon? So daemon is something that keeps on going, keeps on running in the background. So Linux daemon or Linux system daemon is something that keeps on working in the background. So you are reloading the daemon because you told the daemon that enable this Jenkins service and start it. So now you have to reload that daemon. List all the journal entries. So what are these? So journal means log entries. Okay, journal entries means logs. So all the logs from this unit should be listed, and then delete all the logs by using this particular command. So vacuum time 1 second. So whatever is older than 1 second, please rotate it, means delete it. You're rotating a log means you're deleting, flushing the log and rewriting on it. Okay, so that is what these commands mean. So let us do that. This is the most difficult part of the video, and let us see. Let us do that. Now this file, let me just type this file. I won't enter anything. Now the way we have done it, this end of this was not actually needed. We should have just done this and then copied things, and then we should have done control D. Okay. Okay, so I'll just copy this much part, etc system. Now here such files are usually kept in etc. Okay, so all these things you have to remember. This file is kept in etc. Then here in the work directory you have to say this, where we kept the Jenkins file. Here also you have to give the proper path. HTTP port is 8080. Okay, so what will I do now? Let me just run this. Here also, even after this, we should be giving the username and password. Otherwise, how will it see when the system rebooted? Then it should launch Jenkins, and it should also log into a certain user if you want. But even if you keep it running, and even if you are not logged in, then also this builds will keep on triggering on its own. Due to webhook, builds will keep on triggering. Now build won't trigger. See, now if I make a change, the build won't trigger. So now if I'm making it, I'm making it at one place only, and I'm saying test change 1. So due to test change 1, build will not get triggered. Why? Because Jenkins is not working at the moment. Okay. Now, but once this whole thing is done, and then even if the Jenkins is off, means I think that it is off, but still it will trigger the pipeline. So let us see whether that happens. So first of all, let us create this file, Jenkins service, copy. Yeah, I have to connect to SSH, so let me connect to SSH. PowerShell is the default one now, right? Okay. Yeah. अरे अच्छा जाने दो यार, इसमें करते हैं ना, no problem. Cat sorry, this SSH root and @ and whatever is the IP that I have. This is the IP of my VPS. Okay, I'll give the password. What's the password? Password is correct. Now I'll say cat, and what is that? A whole path was there. etc systemed. Okay, let me just check whether that path really exists. Okay, I'll do cd and this path. Does it really exist? Okay, Jenkins service does not exist, but does this path exist? Yeah, it does exist. What does it have? It has these things. Okay, see, other services are also there. dbus, this service, this service, this service, a redis service. So services are usually created over here. So etc system daemon system, and inside that you make jenkins.service. So here I'll say mkdir. No, wait a minute. So it's a file that I want to create here. So I'll say cat, and the file is jenkins.service. But I won't create directly. I'll say like this, right? So it allows me to type into it. So here, instead of, see, I'm in that folder, and that's why I did not give the whole path. But here this command can be run from anywhere because the absolute path is given. Now inside that you type unit is this unit has to be given. After this, okay, this everything is needed actually except that end of file. Yeah, I have to copy very carefully because I cannot delete, I guess, in this cat command. So copy, paste, yeah, paste anyways. Okay, I think it is properly done. Let me see whether delete works. Yeah, delete does not happen. You cannot go to the upper line in cat. That is the problem. Now what do? You say control D. Okay. Now see that file jenkins.service. Okay, everything is fine. Now I need this file to be there, right? So let me just check whether this file really exists. Okay. Uh, okay, or let me see whether this execution works. Okay, so I'll copy this, I'll paste it. Does it really work? Yeah, it does work. Okay, so Jenkins does start like that. And just to check it, let me refresh. It should say Jenkins is starting. Starting Jenkins. Starting Jenkins. Yeah. So that means it is working. The command is correct. Fully up and running. Fully up and running. I can log in and all. Okay. Chalo, I'll close this. I'll stop this. Now Jenkins is not working. I'll do clear. Okay. So that uh, file does exist and it does work. That's what I'm saying. Now, what do we do next? The next thing is let system control enable this thing. So before that, let me clear the journal for just clear the entire journal. I don't want to see anything from it. So clear the entire journal. Okay. Deleting the archived files, whatever files were there, everything are deleted. Okay. I have not saved anything into this till now. So all these files must be installation related logs, something like that. So leave them. It's absolutely okay. I deleted everything. Now let us check whether I can check these. See, if I just put this much, then I should see all the journals. There are still a few journals. Okay. And I have to do Control C to come out of it. Now, if I want journals only about Jenkins service, that is the unit Jenkins service -u, then I'll see that there are no entries. Okay, so there are no entries so far. Now what we'll do is we will system control enable Jenkins service and system control start Jenkins service. Okay, you don't have to tell it where this is. Why? Because it already knows where it is. It points to, see here arrow, it points to this location. It already knows it, and that is why we kept it at a proper position. We kept it in etc system daemon system and then Jenkins service. Okay, I hope that's where we kept it. Etc system daemon system Jenkins service. Okay, so there's a reason for everything here. Now we started. We just have to say please start it. It knows where it is. Okay, arey yaar, copy. Okay, just started. Okay, I'll do system ctl. Status must be there. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, status is there. But here there are 32 pages, and if I just keep on going, yeah, Jenkins service is there. Okay, it is okay. This is the command which will get executed, right? This is the command which will get executed. Okay, so exec start. So okay, Jenkins service is now there. Okay, it is there. Fine, that is fine. If you don't want to go through the whole thing, then just say Control C, so it will break. So you saw your service there. Okay, now what you do is you started that service also. Now you just check what are the logs. Is it working? What is the log saying? So log is now saying yes, started Jenkins, it is running. Okay, it seems to be running. And let's go till the end. Okay, go. अरे यार ये क्या है इसका? अच्छा 1 to 25 of 25. Okay, that is all. Maybe let me control C and let me see that again. 25 lines only. Okay, fine, let it be. I hope it is running. So let me go and check now whether it is working. What was it now? 147. Yeah, this one. See, it is working. I did not start it. It is working on its own. Great. I did not log in. I let this happen. And now I'll say, this is second commit. So test commit 2. So initial was test change 1. Now test change 2. What change do you want to do? The same change I'll do. Okay, fine. Okay, commit it, sync it. This time, since it is working, it should listen to the webhook and it should trigger the pipeline. But I'll still wait. I'll wait for a while, okay, before I log in. I'll just keep waiting. I'm not doing anything. Okay. Now maybe I'll do one thing. It is working, right? It is working. It must have started the pipeline. Okay. Now in this situation, I do one thing. I close the entire tab only. See, nothing is going on anyways. I have not done anything. If something is working, it is due to that system daemon which keeps on working in the background. And I told him that I told it that this is a service. You just keep running it, and the daemon, that poor fellow is doing it. So that daemon will keep on working. Okay, I can completely cut off my SSH connection also. So I'll say here exit. I have come out of the SSH connection. Then also this must be working. Now if I still go here 147, it is still working. Daemon is still working. Now if I log in and check whether it got triggered, it will be amazing if it got triggered. Okay, let's see. I'm logging in. Shirasao, something is working, something is running. Why is it running? I did not start it. It started due to that webhook, and it failed for whatever reason. I don't know why did it fail. Started by GitHub push. Okay, and it failed. The earlier one also failed. Failed why yaar? Kya problem kya hai tera? Failed script run. Okay, but see, it gets triggered. That's the main thing. क्या है npm install हो गया, packages है, ऐसा है, npm audit हो गया, build हो गया. Then what happened? Hang up. Yeah, I stopped that this java-jar jenkins.war. That command I had stopped it, right? And that's the reason why abruptly it hung up, and that's why that build failed. But now the daemon is working on it, so it is running. So now this pipeline should succeed. Let me check. See, pipeline failure. यार अब तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है? No such file or directory. Okay. Now this was a relative path, I guess. Jenkins workspace. Correct. Now Jenkins is running somewhere else. Is it? I'm not sure. So now it did not get the path of the workspace of Jenkins. So what to do? I think, see, what does the Jenkins file say? I said relative to this copy. I don't want that. I should be giving absolute path. What is the absolute path? I know it is /root. Let me check that, but it is /root only. In /root, there is Jenkins. Let me check that. So don't give absolute. So don't give relative paths. Give absolute path. Okay. Now, because see, relative means relative from wherever the control is running. Where is it running from? It is running from Jenkins service. Where is it kept? In system daemon. Okay, that's why it did not find this workspace, because workspace is getting created over here. Okay, now what do I do? What do I do? Let me check once again. Let me check. Here, what is the path of Jenkins file? It is this. Okay. Acha, so here workspace, is it here in USD, USR? Let me really check here. I'm not sure. Let me check. Let me connect back to the SSH. I'll say CD root. First of all, let me check what is there in it. Here it is not there. Okay, chalo. Here it is not there. Then where it is? It should be in user share. Okay, CD user USR, not user. It is Unix system resources. USR share. इधर है Jenkins. Is Jenkins there? Anything from J? Yeah, Jenkins is there. So CD Jenkins ls. Here is the war file. Okay, war file is over here, but where does it, what is the working directory? Is it this? Where's the work, where is this thing? Where is its workspace? Where is it? .jenkins? I'm confused here. Where is this .jenkins? I think it is in root only here. See, cd root. Here when you do ls, hidden files are not shown to you. So you do cd.jenkins. If it is a hidden file, yes, it's a hidden folder. And you get into it, right? This is .jenkins. Now inside this, there should be workspace. There is a workspace. Okay, fine. So workspace. After workspace, okay, then whatever we wanted, right? After workspace, whatever we want. Okay, so this exists in root. So this will be the correct thing. I'll do one thing. I'll just commit this. I'll call it as Jenkins file corrected as per to keep Jenkins service running from system daemon. Okay. Okay. I hope this works out. If this works out, it will be great. Okay, now the daemon must be already running, and so this must be already triggered automatically. Yeah, it got triggered, and this should succeed. Let us check, but we'll have to wait until the end of it, because this copying will happen right at the end of it. So yeah, by the time this is happening, I'll also tell you that there's another way of look at a pipeline. You can go to pipeline overview. Here various stages will be shown, like checkout stage is complete. Now build and deploy, this is the stage which we made. Okay, so this is going on. So that's why people say that there should be a separate build stage, there should be separate deploy stage. Okay, so that you get that tick over there saying that, oh, a build is successful, right? There can be another stage saying unit testing. After build, there can be unit testing. If unit tests also pass, then the next stage should happen. So it does not go to the next stage unless that stage gets completed. And that is why it is a pipeline. It goes in one sequence. It does not spread around. It goes in one sequence. It's linear. And it's advantageous for deployment, because if anything breaks, then the deployment should not happen. Okay. Okay, now if you want to know more about it, just click upon it. What is happening? Okay, you're running this. Okay, let me check. Here, various steps are given. So the first step was complete. Second step is in progress. If you still want to see the console, click on it. You'll get the latest console output, whichever is being shown. Here, if you want to see the console output, yes, these are the console outputs only for this stage. So this pipeline console is a little advanced level of seeing this. Okay, this is done. Okay, the pipeline is successful then. Mark it successful. Please mark it successful. Mark it successful. It is done. Come on, mark it. Yes, it is successful. Okay, and it is successful. So this works. Congratulations. So this is the most important slide at the moment, and now you just don't need to worry about anything. You just forget about uh, root user, SSH, forget about everything. You have configured it once, it will work forever. Now I'll do the same configuration for other websites also, and just check whether you have missed anything. Okay, so I'll do it for videos.shirasao.com. Where is that? Yes, here it is. Yes, buddy, please come up. Here it is. I'll go to this Jenkins file. I'll only change this to the absolute path. Okay, done. Okay, and for testing also, why don't I create a webhook also right away? So I go over here, I go to the repo, videos, I'll go to settings, webhook, create a webhook. अरे यार 80. Okay, take this, then right here अरे यार क्या था, GitHub webhook. Okay, done. Here application of JSON, done. Once this is done, reload the page. Tick aaya kya? Tick is there. Very good. Do the same with the Adhyatma as well. Settings, webhook, add webhook, paste, git, git hub dash webhook. Okay, done. Application of JSON. Let us check this. Okay, let us reload the page. Tick aaya kya? Yeah, there is a tick. Great. Then we create two search pipelines. Can't I just copy the pipeline? Is there no such option like copy the pipeline? No, but no problem. I can create a pipeline. No big deal. Yeah, but before that, let me change that also. Okay, have I checked in? Okay, I haven't. Let me open Adhyatma separately. Okay, here also I'll make the same change to the Jenkins file. Make the path absolute. Always in Linux, work with absolute path. Your code will never break in that case. Okay, done. Now we go back to Jenkins. We create a new pipeline, this time for videos.shirasao.com. vidos shirasao.com. Fine. Okay, done. Okay, and in this I'm checking this option because git hook is already there. I'm checking this and this, and repo yaar, repo ka path chahiye tha. So I'll go back to that repo, videos, I'll go to code, HTTPS path, because here we are using HTTPS. Credentials are the same. This is the error that you get, and to remove this error you have to select the credentials. It goes away. Master branch again takes Jenkins file. That's it. Save it. Then another pipeline by the name adhyatma.shirasao.com. Spelling check. Okay, done. Pipeline selected. Okay. What else? This thing. Then comes from SCM. SCM is of type git. Repo. Now go to that repo, Adhyatma. Copy this, paste it. You will see an error. To remove the error, select the credentials, and that's it. Save it. So automatically, I mean, I did not show you, but if you scroll towards the down, your master branch is there, your Jenkins file is there. Okay, I didn't show you, but it's always there. Okay, now now these commits, I'll try to do these commits. Now while doing these commits, I'll do one thing. I'll just sign out. I'm not even signed in. Then I'll stop that. I don't have any terminal open. Okay, everything is happening on its own. System daemon is taking care of it. Okay, fine, no problem. Now what I do is, and system daemon is taking care of it as long as you don't shut down the VPS. If you shut down the VPS, then if it begins, then you should have this enabled. If it is enabled, then daemon will start it. If it is not enabled, then it won't start it on its own. Okay, so that's why this command is also important. This upper command is also important. Okay, chalo, now we have enabled it, so don't worry about it. Now everything is closed. Okay, no problem. I'll make a few changes also so that we'll see whether they get reflected or not. So in videos.shirasao.com, I'll go to landing page, and instead of saying I am wale both changes okay, I'll do one thing. Instead of saying creator, I'll say creator or builder. Okay, sound, no problem. Saving it, and I'm making this change. So final test change related to Jenkins. Okay, done. So videos should get triggered now, and after triggering, when it gets deployed, then I should be seeing creator into bracket builder. Okay, the same thing, I'll do a similar change in Adhyatma also. Where is Adhyatma? Here it is. Here I'll do landing page here also. It is in Marathi na. So what should I do? या संकेतस्थळाबद्दल माहिती म्हणजे now I'll add one more header over here. I'll say information about this website. Okay, okay, I'm just giving something so that you can recognize some change has happened. I'll commit this saying again Jenkins final change test. Okay, and I have committed and synced it also. Okay, both the changes are synced, and see here my local branch is here and my global branch is also here. Okay, so both of them are in sync, and this is the latest commit. Similarly for videos also, yeah, both my branches are here. Correct, fine. Now I am hoping that Jenkins must be running already, so I'll go to Jenkins. So I'll go to 147. Okay, I'll try to log in. So Jenkins was running already. I'll just log in. It should already be running. See, both of them are already running. When did they start? So let me go to it. When did you start? 8:29. What is the time now? 8:29. Okay, just started. 8:29:12 with milliseconds. Now it is 8:33. अरे क्या बात है? IST time 8:30. Okay, chalo, but I don't know whether it started with my login or not. So maybe I'll have to wait for logging into Jenkins, and then that is how I can test. But I think it must be running. See, theory says that it should be running, as far as I've heard. Now I might be wrong, but as far as my theory says, or my not even theory, I did not read it also, but this is my gut feeling that it must be running in the background, because that's what a daemon does, right? It keeps on running, and I said Jenkins service should be kept running, and Jenkins service must have received the GitHub this thing signal to start the build, and that's why it must have started the build. My logging in or not should be immaterial. So that's what I feel. We'll do one thing. We will wait. We will log out. Okay, I'm logged out. I've closed it. Yeah, how do I see my clock over here? Or how do I see live IST clock? I want to see it right here. Yeah, it's running. This is the clock I want to see. Okay, fine. Now, as soon as it is 2032, let me commit something in videos. Okay, so let me commit something like this builder. I'll remove, or okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep this thing, and maybe I'll do builder or maker. Okay, and I'll commit this as builder or maker, anything here. I'm just giving any name, it doesn't matter so much. I'll commit it after seeing the clock. Okay, now when should I commit it? When should I push it? Let it be uh, 8:33 when I will push it. Okay, let's time ourselves. 8:33, I'm going to push it. Now if the build gets triggered around 8:33 only, maybe a few seconds here and there, then it will be proven that the theory is true. Okay, 8:33, 9, go. Committed. अरे यार, it is also syncing यार. ये हुआ 5 सेकंड बाद. Okay, 8:33:5. Okay, that is the time. 8:33:5. Notepad. So come push started at 8:33. Push ended at 8:33:5. Okay, okay, that's how it is. Of course, PMIST. Okay, now let us wait for it to happen 8:44 वगैरह. Okay, let it be 8:44. Okay, 33 तो निकल जाने दो. अच्छा ठीक है, अभी it will be 8:34, and at the time of 8:34 now we will try to log into Jenkins. Or should I wait for one more minute? Let us wait for one more minute. It's okay यार, it's been such a long video. You waited for 4 hours now यार. चलो 1 मिनट और रुक जाओ. और बाकी क्या हालचाल? Had there been comments, you would have given me comments. It's not a live session. क्या 1 मिनट तो ऐसे ही कट जाएगा. Don't worry about it. See, what we are trying to see is, now we will log in at 8:35. Okay, and then we'll check that did the build trigger at 8:35? No, it should not happen like that. See, it's been 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, I hope that that git hook thing should have happened, and the build should have got triggered. And if it did not happen, then it is a problem. Then do you want me to stay logged in all the time? No, right? So let's prove this theory properly, conclusively. Okay, it is 8:35. I'm starting Jenkins, which is 147. I'm trying to log in. Okay, I'll hit that at 8:35:30. Logged in. Now if you see, nothing is going on. Okay, when did the login happen? When did the login happen? Jenkins login completed at 8:35:30. Now let us see what time is it. So now let us see. Okay, now closing it. Thank you so much to the clock. Now we will check. Okay, what was it? It was videos, right? So let us check videos. 2 minutes, these many seconds, last success. Okay, let me check. When 8:33. लॉगिन का कुछ नहीं है भैया, लॉगिन का कुछ भी नहीं है. ओके, 8:33:12 p.m. it got triggered. Once again, check. We started the push at 8:33:05. Oh, sorry, 8:33. The push got completed at 8:33:05 seconds, and then within how many 7 more seconds the build started. So that GitHub, that great thing that GitHub is, GitHook, that got completed in less than 7 seconds. That's amazing. That is something, yaar. That's really amazing. Okay, and after that I logged in at 8:35:30. By that time the build had already triggered. Now let us re-verify what was the source. Why did it trigger? It triggered due to git push. It triggered due to git push by my user of GitHub. And what was the commit message? Build or maker. And this is CFF. Okay, so let me check videos. It is build or maker CFF. Fantastic, fantastic. Now the Jenkins is working 24/7. Now I'll still try one more thing. There's one more thing. I enabled it, right? Now let me check whether it still keeps running when I restart the VPS. Okay, so 147. अरे नहीं यार, ये वाला नहीं, 14, ये वाला कौन सा था? क्लाउड पैनल का क्या था यार? और it's in host panel. क्या hostinger panel है? Let me check once. Okay, let me check this. Yeah, it is host panel. No, it is host panel, then VPS manage. Host panel ही है ये, लेकिन इधर है. Sorry, here only VPS information. Here I am stopping it and I am starting it again. तो अभी अगर if it is enabled, then it will run on its own. It will start on its own. That service should start on its own. So it has stopped. Let us start that service on its. Let's start that VPS. So with the system boot, the service should start on its own because it is enabled. Okay, now it is started. Now, what if? Now let me check whether it is still going on. Can I reload you? Is it still going on? It should at least ask me for a login, right? Oh, this is another thing. See, it is hung. That means it has not started yet. अरे यार ये क्या हो रहा है? It has not started yet. So I'll do one thing. Enable wala command will give once again. So we'll give that enable wala command once again. Let us see whether it works. So I'll go to terminal. अरे यार default terminal मेरा shell हो गया. जान दो, छोड़ो. I'll just give that command. I'll just log in. What is the password here? There are 2 passwords, but I still get confused. One is panel password, another is this password. I got confused. I'm too excited, that's why. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, given, done. Now let me run that command. Where is that command? This one. I'm just saying, please enable this service. Done. Okay, chalo. Now I'll say exit. Band ho gaya. This also I have closed. It is in the enabled state. Hey, Jenkins was working. Was it working? It was working. It was working, man. It was working. System started. It was still working. Fine. Let me log in and let me. Oh, sorry, I gave the wrong password. अब 3 password हो गया यार. It's so difficult to remember so many passwords. Here, let me see whether it got triggered. Triggering did not happen. 1 minute. Triggering तो I triggered it now. Sorry, my bad. Triggering did not happen. Why did it not get ट्रिगर्ड यार, बिल्ड और मेकर का होना चाहिए था. दिस इज दैट ओल्ड वन ओनली 833. अरे यार ये क्या हो रहा है. Okay, let's do everything else again. Let's do it again, and I'll stop this anyways. When I'll restart the machine, this will anyways go ahead. I mean, it will die off. Yeah. Login, logged out. I'm I'll do one thing. I'll restart it. I'll stop it, and I'll restart it, and after that I'll make a commit. Dekho, I'll restart it. See, restarting also takes some time, and then that service activation might also be taking some time. Okay, service is activated. Now I'll wait for a minute for that service to really start. I'll wait for a minute. Now currently if I check, it will be off. अरे यार इसको ना नए टैब में देखते हैं. See, we'll check it in the new tab. It will be off. It will start over the time. Any service, it will take, see, the daemon will take some time to turn on all the services one by one, right? So my services time अपना नंबर भी आएगा है ना, तो जब आएगा तब वो चालू होगा. And even for starting also it takes some time. If you give the command java-jar and jenkins.var, then it does take some time, right? So let's wait for that. Maybe a minute. How much time do you think? Maybe a minute, right? Yeah, about a minute. See, Jenkins is starting. It is still in the starting. So it takes this much of time for Jenkins to start. Okay, this is our vulnerability time. Okay, when the system is shutting off, and by the time it turns on and then the service turns on, maybe these 2-3 minutes are our vulnerability time. During this time, if there is a git hook request, there is no Jenkins to hear it. Okay, so they will be lost. But now that it is on, now if I give any request, now even if I close it, it's okay. Even if I close that terminal is already closed. Now if I make a change, I'll just revert everything to whatever it was. And now if I say reverted everything in the test commit or test change, whatever it is, I committed it. The webhook should work after 7 seconds. The build should get triggered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The build should have been triggered by now. And let's check it out. 147. Okay. The build should be in the running state. I should be able to see it in the bottom left corner. Yeah, it is in the running state and I'm able to see it. Now let us check, when did it trigger? It triggered just now. 8:22. Okay, live time 8:45, 8:44:40. Okay, almost now only it got triggered. Very nicely done. And of course the reason will be the same, that git push from Amit Shirasao. So I think we have conclusively proven it that system daemon works fantastically. So God bless that daemon, and God bless the git hook. It's a fantastic thing. You can't imagine how important it is. Now there is no need to give these Jenkins credentials to your developers. You can directly tell them that just keep committing. Automatically Jenkins pipeline will keep on running. You don't have to give any credentials to anyone. Pat credentials you created. It is your account level credentials. You gave it to Jenkins. Developers did not give anything. Okay. Then this repo level GitHub was git hook was added, but git hook is not a secret thing, right? Even if the developers come to know about it, it's not a secret thing. It's absolutely okay. But the account level pat, that is personal access code, that only you know. Repositories users don't know much about it because it's at the account level. Amazing, yeah. They just have to work, means the developers just have to work, commit on their Git repo, and automatically Jenkins builds will keep on firing. That's fantastic. Another good thing that I didn't tell you about is this: that if you configure it, the pipeline, instead of saying git webhook, you can also say poll scm. What is poll scm? You can give it in cron this thing terminology over here, that how frequently do you want the builds to get triggered. So builds will periodically trigger, schedule. Okay, here also I think cron notation is there. So here understand this notation. So there are 5 stars separated by comma. First star indicates minutes, second hours. This is day of the month, and I mean all these values are also given. What values can be given? Now what I like to give is, see, there are 5 stars, star space star space star space star space star. Okay, space is there, huh? Now for the first star, if I say star by 1, so what it means is, अरे किधर गया? So what it means is, oh, do you really mean to say that every minute it should run? Yeah, every minute. It's the build is going to trigger every single minute. If I don't want it here, then maybe on day. See, minute, hour. Okay, every hour. Do I want to build every hour? Okay. Do I want it? Come on. अरे यार ये message भी नहीं बदला इन लोगों ने. But it is every hour. Then every day, once a day I can say. Okay, once a month I can say. So build will get triggered once every minute, hour, day, or month, whatever you like. Okay, so this is cron notation, I guess. This is called cron notation, and understand it. This is also great. I mean, build periodically, you can check it. Poll scm means, let me know what is poll scm. Post commit hook. Okay, triggered by no schedules. So will only due to is kya hai ye? The field shows. Okay, these are also cron notations. Okay, I read it for this only, poll scm, and then you give the cron notation. Okay, this is even build. So what is the difference between poll scm and I got the difference. See, build periodically means always build it whenever I say. If I said once a hour, build it no matter what, build it every 1 hour. But in poll scm, you first check whether there are any changes made. If there is any change, then trigger the build, but check every 1 hour. Got the idea? So this is the difference between poll scm and build periodically. Okay, quiet period means, I think, don't trigger a build during that period. When the option is non-zero, newly triggered builds of this project will be added to the queue, but Jenkins will wait for a specific period in times before actual. Okay, quiet period means it won't start the build. It will queue the build, but every build will wait for some time. Now how much time can I give that time as cron notation again? Okay, in seconds. So every build will wait for 5 seconds. Great. What else do we have? Trigger builds remotely from scripts. Uh, okay, fine. Build after other projects are built. Oh. So this particular pipeline will wait for all the other pipelines to complete. Only when the agent is free, then only it will run. That is built after other projects are built. Amazing, yaar. This is amazing. This Jenkins is an amazing thing, and you can go ahead and learn more about it. You ask any AI about it. The best way of learning is to ask AI. See, at the age of 40, if I'm learning it with AI, at your age, you can do that. And believe me, if a manager who doesn't need to code is coding, coding has something here. Can you understand? It's really great. Learn to code, tell other people also how to code. And by the way, I'll keep this uh, ppt. I'll probably keep 2 ppts, and one will be very large and another will be decently sized. uh, I'll keep both of them in the video description. And what else? In the video description there is index also. I think that's it. So if you still have any doubts, then please let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help. And until next time, this is Amit Shirasao signing off. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you so much for seeing the video till the end. It does mean a lot to me. Could you also please see the video description? It has index, link to the study material, and also if I've shown any products in this video, then the purchase links to those products. The comment section is open for your suggestions and also for your doubts. I always answer to the first 100 comments on every single video. If you want to support my work, here's my QR code or my UPI ID is amit.shirasao@upi. Until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram.